Panthers. He's got to keep winning now.
On the text line, 0467 920 222, Richard from Dapto says, "Hi, Andrew and team. Listening to you call on holidays in Fiji."
Oh, isn't it? I've never been, but you love Fiji, eh?
Oh, my favourite part of the world.
I'm going to swim there next.
So glad to have access to the ABC Listen app. Tune in every week, even at home. Big shout out to my mate Stu from Hornsby. 10 p.m. before the game starts. Sports drinks on our balcony. A balmy 24 degrees. Richard, I'm not the jealous type, but I'm jealous. I'm jealous. It is a beautiful part of the world. There's great, great people. Andrew, the Xavier Coates long run that knocked off Reynolds, and man, did Coates get the ball from a Reece Walsh kick? No, it was an intercept by Xavier Coates as he sprinted 95 metres to score. Andrew, Lou and John, Anne has built us a cubby house around the fire, listening to the call with all our clothes on, from Derek and Anne from Howard. I should hope so.
I was thinking the same thing. I hope they got their clothes on.
Here come the teams. Newcastle Knights look really, really different in its Indigenous jersey. A lot of work's gone into that. And the Penrith Panthers, often in their pink strip away from home, they're in their more, well, it's an Indigenous jersey, but they're more traditional colour. The dark jersey and the white numbers and the dark shorts. As they come out, they'll form a line, arm in arm, at the southern end of the ground. Newcastle do the same at the northern end, just in front or to the side of the Indigenous flag. Flying proudly here, and the Torres Strait Islander flag as well to our right. We'll have the welcome to country. Now this is going to be awkward because I have to welcome local radio listeners in about 90 seconds time, so I'll interrupt but briefly if I need to. Let's get to Willem Henry.
McDonald Jones Stadium for Indigenous Round 2025. Firstly, I pay my respects to the elders past, present and the elders of the future. We also acknowledge the Darug lands from which our brothers from Penrith have travelled here tonight. Footy and Indigenous culture share the same heartbeat, community, connection and passing something on to the next generation. First Nations players have lit up the game with skill, pride and passion. Tonight we celebrate the world's oldest living culture and the role we play in the game we love. This is Indigenous Round. This is our game. This is our country. Let's play football.
Nice and simple message from Willem Henry with the welcome to country here at Hunter Stadium. We're welcoming listeners in about 30 seconds from now. Players remain lined up on either side of halfway. Crowd has certainly built up. It's not a full house by any means, but I reckon we'd have 17,000, 18,000, something like that here for this game between the Knights and Panthers. I'll run through the two teams in a moment when local radio listeners join us. More text as well through the night on 0467 920 222. That's 0467 920 222. Round 23 of the NRL season. And a very good evening to listeners joining us here on Friday Night Footy. I'm Andrew Moore alongside two-time premiership winner Luke Lewis, former Sea Eagle Blue and Kangaroo John Gibbs down on the touchline. We're at Hunter Stadium about to kick off Newcastle against Penrith. The Panthers playing for a spot in the top four and also a 9th straight win. The Knights have lost 4 in a row, so they're keen to turn that around. They were the last team to beat Penrith at Carrington Park in Bathurst. The Knights are about to kick off, running left to right as you look at your radio, defending the northern end of the ground. Fullback Dane Gagai, wingers Dominic Young and Greg Marju, centres Fletcher Hunt and Bradman Best. It'll be Hunt to kick off. 5'8" Jacob Arthur, halfback Jack Cogger, Lock Phoenix Crossland, second rowers Kai Pearce-Paul and Jermaine McEwen, front rowers Leo Thompson and Jacob Sofidi, and Jaden Brayley in his 150th NRL game. He is the hooker as Dylan Edwards from the kick-off has scored 22 out from his own line. Now Moses Leota hits it up and he's wrapped up on his own 30. The bench for the Knights, Thomas Cant, Matt Croker, Tyson Frizzell in his 100th game for this club, and also Elijah Salesa Leomawana. The 18th man, Tyson Gamble, the coach, is Adam O'Brien. Penrith 12 short of halfway. Send it to the left edge to Luke Garner, and he's going to be tackled about 5 short of halfway, and 18 in from touch western side. Play to Kenny, goes open side right, and now the tackle comes about 1 metre inside Newcastle territory. And the ball's played there by Papa Lee. Comes right to Cleary on the last. Kicks down to the northeast corner, and it's going to be caught by Marju. Ran straight past the first chaser, Tunghorn, straight past the second. Got through Liam Martin, who comes back at him, 28 out from the Knights line. That Penrith team is Dylan Edwards, Tom Jenkins and Brian Toto, the wingers. Isaac Tungor and Casey McLean, the setters. 5'8" plays to Langy, half and captain Nathan Cleary. Thanks for turning the lights off, Den Dog. Isaiah Papali'i, the lock. Second row is Liam Martin and Luke Garner. Front row is Lindsay Smith and Moses Liotta. That's all right, Louis. Mitch Kenny, the hooker, as Newcastle make half a break, get to within 10 of halfway. And the benches, Brad Schneider, Liam Henry, Matt Eisenhuth and Scott Sorensen back from injury. Paul Alamotti, the 18th man. Ivan Cleary, the coach. The referee, Wyatt Raymond. Casey Badger and Michael Wise, the touch judges. Ashley Klein in the bunker. Good set, Newcastle. Here they're 8 metres in Penrith's half. Played on the last by Safidi and goes right to left. The kick comes from Jack Cogger. Dropping back is Brian Toll with the catch. 11 metres out from his own goal line, and he scored 17 out from his own line. 1:45 gone, and there's no score. Later at 8 o'clock, big game at Canberra Stadium. The top of the table, they work. Melbourne currently sit first. Canberra hosting Manly Warringah. Tim Gable on the call down there with Alan Tongue and also Sam Williams. Now it's Casey McLean hitting it up for Penrith. He's tackled 32 out from his own line. 2 scoreless minutes to start with. Played. Kenny takes off from dummy half. Good run. Gets to within 7 of halfway. Put to the ground by Leo Thompson and Jaden Brayley. Plays the ball to Talangi. Set restart. Here coming for Penrith. The first inside the 10 against Newcastle as Lindsay Smith scored a metre in Knights territory. They go right to Cleary. Sends it inside to Liam Martin. He's wrapped up 10 metres in Knights half. Northern end of the ground. Ball played now to Kenny. He goes to the left side. Smith turns it in for Papali'i. And Isaiah, who's been in good form, is wrapped up 31 out from the Knights line. Centre field in front of the Northern goalpost. Dummy half Kenny. Goes left to Blaze Talangi. Dummies takes on the defence. But heading the defensive charge with Jacob Arthur. 19 metres out from the Newcastle line. 19 in from the Western touchline. Played to Kenny. Goes right to Lindsay Smith. He scored 12 metres out from the Knights line. Last tackle Penrith. Kenny dummy half. Short side left to Talangi. Got a short pass away to Garner. He's over. He only faced one defender, Leo Thompson. I'm not sure he had a chance. Try to Luke Garner. Penrith strikes early after 3 minutes and 5 seconds. Penrith 4, Newcastle 0 before I can even introduce you, Luke Lewis. Hello, Louis.
There you go, mate. No, what a start by the Panthers. They look fast, they look sharp, and some really nice football here by the Panthers. A quick short side play, and I think Blaze Tungy does a really good job here. He gets the ball at speed, holds the ball up. He fooled me when I was watching it. Thought he was going to play out the back there to McLean, but he plays nice and short to Garner, and he couldn't believe his luck. He didn't know what to do. Does he go out? Does he come in? Or then he just looked at the line and goes, I'll just dive over instead. But that's a nice try and poor defence there on that short side from the Knights.
Yeah, got straight through Fletcher Hunt. Down to the touchline. Good evening, Johnny Gibbs.
Yeah, good evening, Andrew, and to our listeners and to you, Luke, as well, as Nathan Cleary lines one up right in front of me. That was a grand start because they did okay, Newcastle, with their opening set, but it was the 6 again. They got the 6 again. There's a good run by Blaze Talangi, a good quick play of the ball. Then he got back in position, and it was a beautiful ball. And as you say, Andrew, poor defence from Fletcher Hunt.
That's him. Nathan Cleary, 21 metres out. Now they'd love to have Fletcher Sharp out there. 21 out, 4 in from the Western touchline. Nathan Cleary, 4-0, Penrith over Newcastle. It is 4 minutes and 20 seconds gone. And here's Cleary now. Starts his approach from the touchline. Moves in with the right boot. Strikes it, starts out to the right, finishes out to the right. A rare miss for Nathan Cleary. I know going into last weekend, I think Cleary's success rate for Penrith this year was 47 out of 51, and he booted a stack of goals last weekend. So when I say rare miss, I mean it. Your text messages are welcome between now and 10:30 tonight on 0467 920 222. 0467 920 222 as Indigenous round continues on this Friday night, having kicked off last night with Melbourne's 22-2 win over Brisbane. Adam Reynolds will miss the remains of the regular season, we're told. It is hopeful of being back for the finals. A grade 2 hamstring tear, not yet known the severity for Ezra Mam or Selwyn Cobbo. As from the kickoff, Toto is caught, 25 out from the Penrith line.
Yeah, I wonder if it's windy down there. There's been 2 kickoffs from the Knights that have just been, they look like they've gone long and it just gets pulled up in the air, or it's just a short kick. I'm not too sure, but it's not a good start for the Knights.
Well, I'll check in with our Beaufort scale specialist in a moment, Johnny Gibbs, as Penrith spread it to the left. Talangi away to McLean. He puts the fend on Fletcher Hunt, and Fletcher did well this time to hold on halfway. 9 in from touch Western side. It's played to Cleary, goes open side right, and the tackle made here on Jenkins, 9 metres in Newcastle territory. Plays the ball to Kenny, goes right to Papali'i. Bang, goes down in a heavy tackle. 32 metres out from the Knights line. He'll play it on the last to Kenny. He goes to his right to Cleary. Up she goes from 34 metres out. Coming through is To'o against Marju. Up they go. Marju lost it. Comes back to Penrith Liotta. Links up with Lindsay Smith. He's going to go over and score. Steps straight through them and he's over. Great work by Liotta, and then Lindsay Smith scores the try. 5.5 gone. Penrith 8. Newcastle 0. Drop ball from Marju, cleaned up by the Penrith props, Luke Lewis.
Well, the Panthers, they're so good, but at the moment the Knights are just not there with their attitude, because that was a 70-metre set there from the Panthers. A really simple kick there from Nathan Cleary just to get through to their set, put a bit of pressure on. Good work from the outside backs. Brian To'o comes up, does not take his eye off the ball, and the ball definitely goes backwards, but it could have even come off Marju there, and I don't think Smith actually even expected that ball to come to him, but Lindsay Smith looks up and he's got the line in front of him, unmarked. Back-to-back tries there from the Panthers. Really good start.
And John Gibbs, great work from Moses Liotta.
Oh, well, Moses Liotta combining there with his prop forward partner, Lindsay Smith. Good work there by Brian To'o. They might look at this, but it was lost by Marzu. It was a bit of a falcon. I don't think his hands touched it, but really good work there. And that breeze, here it is here. They're replaying it again, so they're looking at things. They always try and find a reason. You'll see there a ricochet of his head. I don't think his hands touched it. Liotta did a great job, flicked it back to Lindsay Smith, and it was over for a try. But that wind, Louis, it is coming from the south, and at ground level is a 1 on the Beaufort Dale, up there high where that ball came from, a 2.
Here's Cleary. 11 out, 5 to the right of the post. Kicks the goal. Penrith now leading Newcastle very early on, 10-0. But remember, they led 24-0 last week against Gold Coast and got run down. They were behind 26-24 before winning an extra time. But that was definitely knocked on by Marju into the head of Brian To'o. On the text line, 0467 920 222. G'day, Maury. Listening on the train, heading back to the Gold Coast from Brisbane. Have a good call. Go the Knights and bring on 2026. Good on you, Matt. Listening while driving to Bathurst for our son's final game of schoolboy footy. Go, Dan, from Shire Bulldog. Dan, play well. Andrew, join the call. Hope you got the postcards. Kylie from Daysdale. I do. I have them in my bag, actually, to refer to across the weekend. So thank you as ever. Here's another kick-off, and Dylan Edwards actually made it to the 20, then gets shoved back 9 metres. He'll play at 11 out from his own goal line. Thompson was in there with Safidi. And Newcastle do have to aim up, because if you're going to break a 5-game losing streak, first thing you've got to do is compete hard. Here's coming left now to Isaiah Papali'i, and he's tackled 28 out from his own goal line. Plays the ball to Kenny. He sends it centre field right. Cleary, let's get out of here. Kick from his own 30. What's the angle on it? No, it's going to sit up for Gagai. Takes a 12 out from his own goal line. Heads back over the 20 into Liam Martin and put to the ground with help from Isaac Tungle, 22 metres out from the line. Plays the ball, and now it's Marju with the hit up. He scored 28 out from his own line. 8 minutes gone. Friday night footy. Penrith 10 leading Newcastle 0 here on ABC Sport. Is now the Knights. Best. He's caught 35 out from his own goal line. He'll play the ball to Jaden Brayley after being tackled there by Papali'i. Comes to the left edge. You can hear the grunt and the groan as McEwen hits it up. Tackled 7 short of halfway. Plays the ball to Brayley. Goes right cross land. A set restart here for the Newcastle Knights. They could do with that. And they'll start this set effectively right on halfway, right in centre field through Jacob Safidi. Plays the ball to Brayley. Sends it left across land. Good tackle by Papali'i with Martin. 10 metres to make it 11 inside Penrith territory, southern end. Now Brayley goes to his left. Cogger got the pass away to Bradman Best. Put on a step, but he's taken by Cleary. 30 out from the Penrith line, 11 in from touch. Brayley goes open side right. Cogger takes on the line against his old team. Knocked to the deck. 23 metres out. Played to Brayley. Takes off from dummy half. Short side left away to McEwen. He's tackled 8 metres out from the goal line. Newcastle in the attack. Last tackle. They're down 10-0. Played to Brayley. Goes to his right. Cogger puts in a stab kick. It's a shot straight to Dylan Edwards. And then he'll get back to his own 10-metre line. 9 minutes gone. Penrith 10, Newcastle 0. Luke Lewis.
That was good. The Knights got that set restart, and that was just from a little bit of fight on the floor. That's what they needed. They ran hard, direct. They got up there nicely. They just had to come up with a better play there on last play. Even a crossfield kick just to give Dom Young a one-on-one out wide there with Jenkins.
So now Newcastle defending. Penrith has it. 30 out from their own line. That's where Garner is tackled. Just outside his 30. And he'll play the ball western side to Kenny. Goes right to Edwards across to Lindsay Smith. But Smith runs into heavy traffic. McEwen is in there, along with a couple of others, and down he goes, 10 short of halfway. Cogger was there as well on the last. Cleary, a rush kick down the short side, straight down the throat of Gagai. Fielded on the full, but he's got knocked over. Late high around the legs, one of the three, because it is a penalty going to the Penrith Panthers. First of the night, 19 out from the line, and 11 metres in from the eastern touchline.
There's not much in it, but he pushed him. We've seen this 100 million times this year. Wrap your arms around him and take him to ground. Just don't go up and push him. They've been given those penalties all year, so that's just attention to detail there from the Newcastle Knights.
Yeah, McEwen just shoved him to the ground. So Penrith will take the tap instead of shooting for 2 points. 10 metres out, comes to the left. Edwards away to Liotta. Moses Liotta's tackled, 7 out from the Newcastle line. Dummy half Kenny right in front of the northern post. Comes left to Smith. Turns it into Papali'i. He straightens the point of the attack into Crossland. And Brayley 2 metres out, right in front of the sticks. Kenny awaits a dummy half. Slow play the ball by Papali'i. Comes to the right, Cleary. He turns it in for Tungall. Then back to the left to Dylan Edwards. Then he just lost the ball. That was shocking play from Dylan Edwards. Really poor play. He just coughed up the ball straight back to Newcastle. 12 out from their own line by Fletcher Hunt. Now comes right, and Pierce Paul's going to be floored. 18 out from his own line. 11 gone. Penrith 10, Newcastle 0. Touchline, Johnny Gibbs.
Yeah, that was not very good there from Dylan Edwards, particularly when he's so experienced. And he's been doing a really good job, Dylan Edwards. By the way, at 16 degrees feels like 11, and that breeze as they swing the ball about here in Newcastle. And tonight, Andrew, tomorrow it is a full moon. It'll be a sturgeon moon.
Excellent. I love a good sturgeon moon. Thank you, Gibbsy. Here it comes to Jacob Safidi. It's just trying to poke its head through the clouds now, old sturgeonator. Here's a kick downfield on the last. Down from Jacob Arthur down the throat of Dylan Edwards. 18 out from the Penrith line. Heads up over the 20 to the 30. Steps into Cogger and Crossland. And caught 32 out from his own line. Penrith 10, Newcastle 0 with 2 tries coming in the opening 6 minutes of the game. Papali'i. He's met well by the defence. 4 of them. He still stands in the tackle. In fact, that was To'o. Saw the headgear, and it's, Brian To'o. That's left hammy still very heavily strapped. Now Penrith make their way inside Newcastle's territory by a metre. Tungall plays it to Kenny. Goes left to Edwards to Smith to Cleary. Then out the back to Lungy to McLean. Then away to Milky Jenkins. He's over the 30. Puts the left foot kick, which is a shocker over the dead ball line. There's a desperate kick. He thought he was going to be bundled over the touchline, but it was not a good kick. So a 20-metre tap and a 7-tackle set for Newcastle. And this must feel weird for Jenkins. He started the year with Newcastle, became disembodied with the club in the game, and ended up back here at Penrith, where he's having a mighty season as the Knights work at 34 out from their own goal line.
That was a nice little shift from the Panthers over to that left edge. Some really good skill. And that kick was the right idea from Jenkins. He just couldn't get the right angle on it because he had about 3 Panthers players pushing up, waiting for it. But he gives away a 7-tackle set. It's going to have to be very important for the Knights to make as many metres upfield because every time they kick the ball high, it gets held up.
6 short of halfway now. Jacob Safidi played to Brayley. Goes to his right. Arthur away to Pierce Paul. Taken by McLean over the top and Talangi down low. 3 metres in Penrith territory. Brayley from dummy half. Down the short side, found some room. Now put to the ground by Garner. 32 out from the Penrith line. Last tackle, Knights played to Fletcher Hunt. Goes left for the kick. Jacob Arthur from 33 metres out. She's high. Hunt chasing it through against Edwards. Hunt taps the ball back, and then a little stab kick from Cogger. Not very good either. Picked up by Tom Jenkins. Runs around Cogger, back over the 10-metre line. Now put to the ground. About 12 out from his own line. So the kicking execution from both teams, not all that flash in the last few minutes. McLean with the head up for Penrith, and he's nailed 16 out from his own line. 13 minutes 30 gone. Penrith 10, Newcastle 0. Friday night footy with Luke Lewis, John Gibbs. I'm Andrew Moore, and to come, Canberra against Manly Warringah at Canberra Stadium. Kenny from dummy half goes right to Liam Martin, and he runs into McEwen over the top, taken 32 out from his own line. Kenny again, left to clear. He's going to try this again from his own 30-metre line. This time a better direction. The ball bounces with backspin and a little side. Gagai got over there, tried to dramatically throw it into the field of play like a boundary rider in the BBL, but what he did was throw it straight over the touchline as he fell in a very awkward way. Penrith will get to play the ball 10 out for the Newcastle line. 14 gone. Penrith 10, Newcastle 0.
I didn't mean to burst out into laughter, but That was probably one of the funniest things I've seen. I reckon he could have just stopped and pulled that ball in, but he went to throw it back. He hits his leg, kicks it back out, and gives away a 40-20, but that was gold.
Now Penrith with the play the ball, and Liotta's tackle 4 metres out from the Newcastle line. Penrith hunting a third try here. Kenny goes left to Papali'i, centre of the ground. Barnstorming run up the middle, but down he goes 3 metres away in front of the left upright. Dummy half Kenny goes right to Lindsay Smith, runs at the line and offloads to Cleary. Dummies goes outside to Edwards. He blew a try there, Dylan Edwards. If he had passed the ball to Isaac Tungle, he would have scored untouched, but instead he's tackled 3 metres out by Cogger. And now Liotta gets it to his left. Smith away to Papali'i, caught 10 out. Absolutely butchered try there by Penrith, but there's still a chance. 2 tackles left. Kenny goes left, Cleary to Garner. Hit and spin back to Talangi to McLean, and he's nailed. Great defence, Fletcher Hunt. 5 out from the goal line. Last tackle, Penrith, who lead 10-0 after a quarter of an hour, and they waste it from dummy half Talangi. Change over. Knights get it back. A metre out from their own line. Penrith 10, Newcastle 0. Touchline, Jonty Gibbs.
Just keep an eye on Jaden Brady. He's been attended to there by the trainer, but he tried to tackle Isaiah Papali'i, who ran right over the top of him. He was a little bit worse for wear. I wouldn't be surprised if the independent doctors having a bit of a look at this.
All right, thank you, Gibbsy. Here's Greg Marju, first receiver. Caught 10 out from his own line on play 2 by Liotta. Dummy half is Brayley. He sends it left to Bradman Best, and he's going to be backing his way. 18 out from his own goal line. Played to Brayley. There you go, short side left to Jermaine McEwen. And he's met and put to the ground by Liotta, Martin, and To'o, 25 out from his own line. They come open side right to Jacob Safidi. He's caught just outside his own 30. Last tackle for the Knights. Down 10-0. Brayley goes right. Kick downfield from Cogger. End over end. Down the throat of Edwards. Barely had to move. 25 out from his own line. Extends it over the 30 to the 40. Ran across field and put to the ground 12 short of halfway. So 16 gone. Penrith 10, Newcastle 0. Played to Cleary. Sends it left away to Luke Garner. Or is that Milky? Might be Jenkins, who's put to the ground a metre short of halfway. Both with the snowy hair and the fair complexion. All played, and it comes left to McLean. And he's caught 5 metres in Knights territory by Hunt and Arthur. Kenny goes open side right this time. Here's a good run coming for the Panthers to within 32 metres of the line. As it's played there by Garner. Comes to the right, Cleary. Back on the inside to Lindsay Smith. Centre field. Safiti's one of 3 defenders there to put him down with Thompson. 25 out from the Knights line. Last tackle, Penrith. Kenny goes right to Cleary. The kick from 26 metres out. And this time it's Gagai under pressure from Liam Martin. Oh, great catch, Dane Gagai. Brilliantly done. And then escaped 2 defenders. Caught 9 out from his own goal line. But that was brilliant from Gagai. 17 gone. Penrith 10, Newcastle 0.
Yeah, that was a great take. Had lots of pressure coming. And Liam Martin's very good under the high ball, but he gets up, brings it down. I tell you what, the carry as he hits the ground as well makes another 5-6 metres. So a really strong carry there from Dane Gagai.
So now the Knights bring it to the right side. Kai Pearce-Paul caught just outside his own 20. Williams says, hoping for a Panthers win tonight. Brayley goes left away now to Crossland, centre field. Wrapped up, ball and all. Good tackle by Papali'i, joined by Lindsay Smith. And Garner, 23 out from the Knights line. Brayley comes back to the right. Jacob Arthur. Brad's son got a cut-out pass away to his right, and Hunt's caught 32 out from his own line. Last tackle, Knights. Kick off the boot of Jacob Arthur. Right foot kick. Edwards has to move to his right. Gets there on the full. 28 out from his own line. Passes right to Brian To'o. Puts on a right foot step, but a good chase from Best and McEwen. And he's caught 9 out from the halfway line. Played to Cleary. Sends it left to Isaac Tungor. He's caught on halfway. 18 gone. Penrith 10, Newcastle 0. As now they work it left to Edwards. He got the pass on to Blaze Talangi. Goes on a stepping run. Caught 9 metres in Knights territory. Ball played to Kenny. He goes right to left to Cleary. Runs at the line and offloads to Dylan Edwards. Out the back to McLean. Needed another pass, but he's caught by Hunt. About 32 out from the goal line. Also in there was Arthur. Now played Garner. Goes right to Edwards to Cleary. He's going to be caught here on the last, is he? He is. So their best kicker by far and away has to play it on the last. And it comes right to Talangi. Puts up the bomb from 30 metres out. Down to the wing of Marju. Coming through. Oh, up they go. Marju the catch this time. Brilliantly done. after his earlier faux pas. He scored 6 out from his own line. Penrith 10, Knights 0, 18 and a half gone, Luke Lewis.
And that was a very good kick there from Blaze Talangi. He got a lot of height on it. He put it very deep and close to the line, and really good kick chase. So nice work there from Talangi to step up, knowing that, here they go, the Knights.
Tom Young got the pass away to Pierce Paul down the right wing. He's dragged down on his own 30-metre line after maybe to play as well from Gagai. Hunt dummy half, goes left to Arthur. He steps into the defence of Kenny and Smith, 13 short of halfway. Now Brayley, short ball left to Thompson, knocked to the ground. Papali'i, good solid hit, head on, 3 short of halfway. Last tackle Newcastle. Brayley goes left, and the kick from Cogger. It's a floaty one down to Edwards. He's under it though, takes a 25 out from his own goal line, then steps through Arthur, finished off 12 short of halfway. Gibbsy down there, do you get a sense the Knights are slowly playing their way back into this game?
Well, they are. They're taking a few chances. They've got to get it to the speed on the outside, both sides. Dom Young on the right, and on the left you've got Marzu and also Bradman Best. But they're under enormous pressure. Nathan Cleary's kicking, including a 40-20, is putting him under enormous pressure.
So now Penrith go to the left to Lungy, got past Fletcher Hunt, a drag down, 28 out from the Knights line, and 9 in from touch western side by Arthur. Played to Kenny with 2 plays left. To the right, Papali'i to Smith to Cleary. Cleary delayed a short ball to Liam Martin, but nowhere to go. Defence right up in his face. That was very well done from McEwen and Cogger. 28 metres out on the last short side right. Cleary runs at the line, offloads Edwards. Quick hands Tungle, put in a stab kick. And again, the execution was horrendous. Picked up by the Knights. They have it just outside their 10, and they'll play it 13 out from their own goal line by Bradman Best. Penrith 10, Knights 0. Both tries coming, Lou, in the opening 6 minutes of the game.
Yeah, a couple of quick tries for the Panthers, but what they are doing well is keeping the pressure on the Knights. They're keeping them down the right end of the field, and they're making them make a lot of tackles and decisions. So fatigue will set in eventually. I reckon the next 5 minutes it could open up a little bit.
So now it comes to the left, Cogger. He gets the pass away, and McEwen tackled, 28 out from his own line by Cleary. Played to Brayley. Back centre field right, Thompson, cross land, Safidi. Jacobs caught mid-quarter halfway, Knights territory. Last tackle for Newcastle. Brayley's a dummy half. Goes right, the kick again from Jacob Arthur. Drills this with a bit more force, but Jenkins is there this time on the left wing. Fields at 19 out from his own goal line. He's only jogging, and he accelerated only as he got to the defensive line, so he comfortably put down 33 out from his own line centre field.
I like Jenkins, but I don't like when he jogs. I love when he sprints.
Runs hard.
When Dylan Edwards does it, he just sprints back. It's a lot of meters. So good for him.
Now to dummy half, Isaac Tungle. Crosses into Knights territory. Got through Cogger. Now put to the ground by Brayley over the top. 38 out from the goal line. 15 in from eastern touchline. Kenny to the right to left. Cleary, Edwards, Smith. Then away to Lungy. Plays out the back to McLean. Attempted a tip onto Jenkins, and it's been deemed knocked forward.
I know that one.
Well, I thought it went backwards off McLean's hands too.
Yeah.
But he got a rough deal there from Talangi. So it's 10-0 Penrith. And it'll be a Newcastle scrum feed. 14 short of halfway. 22 gone. Penrith 10, Newcastle 0 on the text line. 0467 920 222. Guys, Derek from Glebe, if the Dolphins make the finals, does that mean Christian Wolf gets coach of the year with all their injuries? Well, it'll be in the discussion. I reckon Ricky Stewart might be favoured at this stage.
Oh, he has to be.
What about Ivan Cleary? I'll just throw that question up there. If they come from last to top 4,
he wouldn't be out of the question either, right?
Here's the Knights left edge, 7 short of halfway. Andrew Bryant has his hamstring heavily strapped. He might be able to start a side hustle next week in Brisbane, says Wayne from Mildura. Now the Knights a metre into Penrith territory. Ball played Brayley, goes right to crossland, away to Arthur, turns it into Pierce Paul. Tackled 8 metres into Penrith territory by Papali'i and Garner. Dummy half Brayley. Goes centre field left crossland, got the pass away to Cogger. Wrapped up 39 out from the Penrith line with 2 tackles to go in this set. We've had 23 minutes. Penrith 10, Knights 0. Jacob Arthur takes on the defence, got a wraparound ball to Pierce Paul, and he loses it. Picked up by Dylan Edwards for Penrith. He's to the 30 and beyond. He scored 32 out from his own line by Phoenix Crossland. 20 in from touch western side. Plays the ball to the dummy half Kenny. Left to right, Cleary away to To'o. And Brian To'o caught 8 short of halfway after his customary 5 or 6 post-contact metres. Now it's Tungle at first receiver. Good run. Brought down about 2 metres inside Knights territory. Dummy half Kenny. Runs, goes to his left. And the tackle made 38 metres out from the line. That looks like Liam Henry out there now for Penrith. Played to Kenny. Goes left to Papali'i. Steps into the defence. 29 out from the line and 20 in from touch western side. Kenny. Goes centre field right to Cleary. Turns it back on the inside of Lindsay Smith. Looked to offload, but the backup there had stopped running. Mitch Kenny still going, Lindsay Smith. Then throws it over the head ball to Talangi. Throws a terrible pass again to McLean. Good hands though from Casey, and he scored 7 out from the line by Hunt and Arthur. Last tackle to Penrith, who lead 10-0. Dummy half Garner. Goes right to Cleary. Puts in a rush kick. It's a stab kick towards the in-goal area. Getting back there, Cogger. He's got it. Evades one, and he's going to dive into the field of play. What an effort by Jack Cogger.
Oh, gee.
That was brilliantly done. He's in the field of play by about 3 blades of grass. Now it's Margie's strong run through Putali up over the 10. That was great work from Cogger.
Yeah, it is. I tell you what, didn't he just put his head down and absolutely sprinted and did not care about his body at all? He was getting that ball back in the field of play. Even though it was by 3 blades of grass, that was a big play there from Cogger.
Now Dom Young, 27 out from his own line, plays it to Arthur. Goes left to Matt Croker, who's just come onto the field, as has Tyson Frizzell in his 100th game for Newcastle. 14 short of halfway. Comes left, and the Knights have it just short of the halfway mark. Ball played quickly by Croker. Comes right to the kick downfield by Jacob Arthur. Drifting back is Jenkins. Fields at 15 out from his own line. He heads up over the 20 into Fletcher Hunt. Put the fend on. Got away from Hunt, who stayed with him around the legs. Right on the Penrith 30. Let's check in on the touchline with Johnny Gibbs.
Well, that was some really good work from Jack Cogger, and I've got to say there was a really good strong run after that from Greg Marshall, straight over the top of Lindsay Smith, who was nursing a bit of a bleeding nose. The problem for the Newcastle side is they need some repeat sets or a penalty or something to get up the other end of the field.
So now Scott Sorensen on the field. He plays it and they come to the right tile. Over the 40, put the speed on. Bradman Best catches him from behind. 18 metres out, 8 in from the eastern touchline. Great work by Best. Played to Edwards. Goes left to a running Cleary. Drifts to the left, turns it inside to Sorensen. Sorensen beats one, then threw it into a Newcastle player. It's scooped up by Penrith. That's going to be a try to the Panthers and Liam Henry. It is. Scott Sorensen threw it into a Knights player. It ended up on the deck, and Liam Henry became Johnny. Johnny on the spot, that is. Penrith 14, Newcastle nil, almost 26 minutes gone.
Well, it's just a matter of having so much possession in really good field position, a nice little shift and a good break there down that right edge. And then Scotty Sorensen, he's just come on. Liam Henry's just come on the field as well. And nice footwork there. I actually thought Scotty Sorensen might have blew that opportunity, but as he threw it back, there was a Newcastle Knights player on the ground. And as the ball goes back, it actually hits the Newcastle player. Can't see who it is. And then it just ends up bouncing into the arms there of Liam Henry. It's a nice try. And I told you about 5 minutes it was going to start opening it up. It is now. There's some tackles being missed. There's a couple of poor decisions in the defence there of the Newcastle Knights, and the Panthers make them pay.
Yeah, he just threw it straight into Matt Croker, did Sorensen. Penrith 14, Newcastle nil. Touchline Gibbsy.
Yeah, and that started with a good run down that eastern touchline from Brian Tyler. He's been a bit quiet, Brian Tyler, by his lofty standards. I reckon he is being affected by his hamstring still. He's had an ongoing knee issue as well. He ran for about half the metres he normally ran for against the Gold Coast, but he came up with a play the ball, quick play the ball, and Nathan Cleary, after they make a burst, he digs into the line. He does it so well, gave the ball to Sorensen, and threw it into Croker and Liam Henry, like all good forwards should be doing, backing up, just trundling down the middle, scores an easy one.
His second of the year. Here's Cleary, 15 out, 20 in from the eastern touchline, 1 from 2, his record tonight. 27 gone, Penrith 14, Newcastle nil. You with Luke Lewis, John Gibbs. I'm Andrew Moore on ABC Sport. Friday night footy. Then it's Canberra v Manly. Here's Cleary. Moves in, strikes it, likes it, kicks the goal. He's 2 out of 3. And it's Penrith 16, Newcastle nil here at Hunter Stadium. On the text line 0467 920 222. Hi, Andrew and Dipsy Doodlers. Great to hear you three calling tonight. Big chance for the Panthers to march towards the top 4 spots, says Craig from Foster. Andrew and team, I'm listening on my tranny in a motel in Ballina after driving up from Kew today. Tomorrow I'm going to Golden Beach to visit my neighbours where I used to live, from Maryland. Good on you, Maryland. Have a great weekend. Jason and Gloucester, I look forward to the ABC call every week. It's better than watching the footy on TV. At the start of the season, Andrew, Luke and Michael gave predictions where teams would end up, which I reckon were spot on. So many teams have surprised us. Love the call. That's good of you to remember it that way, Jason, and I'll pass that on to Michael Carianis. I don't want to mention again that he tipped Canberra for the wooden spoon. Here's Penrith, 28 out from their own line, and I won't, Louis. I won't. We've done it too much. That MC pick Canberra for the spoon.
How could you?
Here's Lindsay Smith. Tackle 13 short of halfway. Who was yours?
Forrest.
I can't remember mine, but I'm sure it was just as bad. Comes right to Dylan Edwards. He backs his way to halfway, and he's put to the ground right in centre field. Penrith 16, Newcastle 0 after almost 28 minutes. Kenny sends it left to Talangi, runs at the line. He's going to be tackled here by Arthur and Kai Pearce-Paul.
Look at every set that they're getting to.
Yeah.
It's always down around this 40, 30 metre line. They get a really good attacking kick in.
Cleary from 40 metres out. It's down to Marju. He's not under pressure here, though. He takes it 7 out from his own line, then offloads to his left to Bradman Best. But the cover comes across and he's knocked to the deck by To'o and Tungor. I got my tongue confused as the Knights now on play 2 get 22 metres out from their own goal line. Now the ball's going to be played by Dom Young, who's barely seen the footy tonight. Now Bradman Best, a day short of his birthday, he scored 29 out from his own line. About 18, he's hit the deck and he's lost the ball. It was just an absolute calamity. So Dane Gagai loses the ball for Newcastle. 11 minutes 20 left first half. Penrith 16, Newcastle 0 is a hush win over the crowd here at Hunter Stadium.
No way he could challenge that one either. It was just a clean drop as he's going to put the ball down. He didn't grip it properly with his hand. Had it between his fingers and his wrist. He goes to flick the ball out and it just slips out. But the field position that the Panthers have had, you can see the fatigue slowly starting to really set into this Newcastle Knights. And I think one more try here. I just can't see the Knights scoring 20 plus points to win this game. So it's a big set.
Penrith wins the scrum and it goes left. Cleary turns it on the inside to Garner. He scored 22 out. 3 tries tonight for Penrith, all from forward so far.
I want to hear you say game set bingo tonight for half time.
Oh, Kenny goes right. Don't do that to me, Louis. Talangi tackled 13 metres out from the goal line, especially after Penrith led 24-0 last week and nearly got beat. Cleary comes back left to Sorensen. He scored 6 out from the Newcastle line midway through the tackle count. Kenny dummy half. Goes left to Cleary. Out the back to Edwards. Have they got numbers? Talangi. A tip on. He loves that. It's not always that good. And this time it's slowed down for Jenkins. He scored 4 metres out. Plays it to McLean. Spins it to the right. Good hands from Sorensen. Picking it up with his bootstraps. He's going to be wrapped up 7 out from the goal line by Pearce-Paul. And also in there was Croker on the last Cleary. A little stab kick, but straight to Gagai. And Newcastle have it back. 6 out from their own line. That time their goal line defence very good. 10 to go in the half. Penrith 16, Newcastle 0.
Penrith had him shot on that left edge then. They had 3 on 2 or 3 on 1 overlap. It's just that last pass that's Lang. I think he's got to slow up a little bit. He's getting the ball too fast and then he has to quickly tip it on.
He's reminded me of Zach Lomax in the setters a few years ago.
Yeah, he's just got to pull up his run speed and just get it a little bit later, and it'll give him a lot more time to look at the defensive line.
Here's McEwen on a good run on the short side. Talented young forward is tackled 14 short of halfway. 10 in from touch on the eastern side by Tungor. Plays it Cogger. Goes right side. Frizzell away. Through hands away now to Gagai, who's tackled 12 short of halfway. Last tackle for Newcastle again inside their 40. Arthur kicks from around the 40-metre line, straight down the throat of Edwards on his own 20 for Penrith. Heads up over the 30, takes on Fletcher Hunt. This time he's got him around the ankles. Beautiful tackle. 13 metres short of halfway. Played to Talangi. Sends it right to Tom Jenkins. And he's going to be caught 5 short of halfway for the Panthers with his 16-0 lead after 31 minutes. And it's a set restart. Too slow on the tackle. And that is Penrith's third of the evening. 5 metres in Knights territory. We only had 1 penalty in the game. Mike Raymond keeping... Oh, there's another set restart for a ruck infringement. Liam Henry with the head up now for Penrith. Taken 37 out from the goal line by Crossland. Plays the ball centre field to Kenny. Goes left to Smith and turns it into Sorensen. And Scotty Sorensen's going to be wrapped up 29 metres out from the Newcastle line. Dummy half Kenny, centre of the paddock, goes right to Lindsay Smith, plays away to Cleary out the back to Dylan Edwards. He accelerates, but he's caught there by Cogger and Best. About 18 metres away, 3 tackles left for Penrith. Comes to the left to Cleary, away to Smith, centre field, short ball, Sorensen knocked to the deck. 10 out, right in front of the post. Penrith on the attack yet again. Kenny goes left to Cleary, flat pass to Garner, back on the inside, Cleary, oh, he's for the goal line, he's just short. He was trying to get a miracle ball through players, held onto it, he's only a foot out. Played on the last to Kenny, goes right to Lungy, Crossfield kick headed for McEwen against To'o. Up they go. Ball knocked back for the Knights. Best has it. 2 out from the Newcastle line. 7 minutes 45 to go in the half. Penrith 16, Knights 0. Touchline Johnny Gibbs.
Well, they just had no field position to have that. None whatsoever. Newcastle, and they're getting tired, and that's why they're coming up with some set restarts. If they keep giving those away, it's going to be a problem for Newcastle, and they won't cough up a lead like they did last week. They'll learn from that. Look at northeastern corner, Andrew. The Sturgeon Moon has popped through.
Oh, there it is.
Not fully.
As now, well, no, it's poked its head, the Sturge, a lot more than was visible 10 minutes ago. Gibbsy all over the moon. So now time off. They've had 58% of the ball, Penrith. They've completed at 90% so far, the Panthers. Phoenix Crosslands coming from the field, and Elijah Salesa Leomawana coming on. This youngster, we called him here a couple of weeks ago at Crossland. Helped off from the trainer, or with the trainer for an HIA. On the text line, Sturgeon is a fish from the North Atlantic, I think. Tomorrow night, Gibbsy will be outside singing like a sturgeon, says Road Train Dave. And Rob from Ipswich, can you lot be more disrespectful to the Knights if you tried? Well, we're not trying to be. So I think the answer to your question is, yes, we could. Could you not be more disrespectful to the Knights if you tried? How have we been disrespectful to Newcastle?
Well, it's not our problem that they're not playing their best football at the moment.
Penrith 35 out from their own line. Comes left to Lungy to McLean. Tackled 7 short of halfway there by Salesa Leomawana. Now comes right to Garner with the next hit up. He scored a metre in Knights territory. Penrith 16, Newcastle 0. 6 minutes 30 left in the half. Kenny goes right. Sorensen steps straight into the defence in centre field. About 9 metres in Knights territory. Now Kenny goes to his right away to Cleary. Cleary dummies and accelerates. Tackled on the last again, 30 metres out, so he won't be kicking. Talungi does, 28 out from the line. Goes in behind Bradman Best. Oh, he lost the ball in the in-goal area, but it has enough force on it to go dead. That ended up being another well-weighted kick from Talungi. Goal line dropout Newcastle, who trail 16-0 after 34 minutes.
Oh, I've never seen so much field position dominance.
The old FPD.
It's unbelievable. Like the Panthers are just getting out of their own end so easily. Every kick is putting pressure on the Newcastle Knights. They're doing everything right, and their line speed is brilliant, the Panthers.
So here's a short line drop out. It's too short, and it bounces backwards all the way into the in-goal area. Add that to the list of less than line dropouts we've seen this year. And it will be a play the ball for Penrith.
That's just an unlucky bounce, that one, huh?
10 metres out. Well,
I've seen some ones that go sort of all and actually bounce on the in-goal.
It's more unlucky if you kick at 10 metres, though. That went about 6.
Yeah.
So Penrith, they have it, and it comes from right to left. Edwards to Henry. Liam Henry tackle. 5 out from the Knights line. 5 left in the half. Newcastle has to defend its line here. Kenny goes left to Sorensen, and he hits it up. Caught 3 out from the goal line. He'll play it after being tackled by Salesa Leomawana, among others. Comes right Smith to Cleary. Then back on the inside to Dylan Edwards. Edwards fends away from one, and he slips over. 14 metres out. Finished off there by Frizzell. Croker. Centre field. Kenny goes left to Cleary. Left foot step by Nathan. Takes him on again. Oh, gee, that was a high tackle, but it's fair, says the referee. 8 metres out from the line. He plays it to Kenny. Left to Talungi. Puts in a stab kick straight into the body of Jacob Arthur. Deemed to be played at, and Talungi does well to recover it. And it's 6 more tackles for Penrith. Now they go right to Casey McLean. Drifts, straightens. Off to the ground by Frizzell and Salesi Leomawana. 3 out from the line. 3 tries already for the Panthers. Kenny goes right to Edwards. He turns it back on the inside to Isaac Tungor. Tungor stands, offloads to To'o, all the way in from the right wing to left centre effectively, and he gets to within a metre of the goal line. To'o, he's so strong. Plays the ball to Kenny. Sorensen for some reason got in his road. Back to Cleary, now back to the right to Lindsay Smith. And Smith's going to be tackled 5 out from the line.
Doing a good job here, the Knights, at the moment.
Great job, yeah. But they've got to keep going for another 2 tackles here. Cleary takes on the line. He can't be tackled on the last again, no. This time he gets the offload away. And it goes through hands to Sorensen. Sorensen straightens, accelerates, great leg drive. Put down 2 metres out, last tackle Penrith. Leading 16-0. Kenny spins it right away to Lindsay Smith. He dummies, then got the pass to Cleary. Then a one bouncer to Dylan Edwards. His pass is knocked down by Newcastle. 6 more tackles as Tungle picks it up. He gets it back to Liam Martin. Beats one. He's got eyes only for the goal line. He's just short. He's a 15th out, Liam Martin. Plays it to Kenny. Set restart, or was that the 6 again from the touch? I think it was. So they're a metre out.
They've got to come left.
Penrith, they've got the numbers, haven't they? They go that way. Cleary to Lungy. Oh, butchered it. He had it. Well, the 6 again, and he did finally get a pass to McLean. But if Talangi passed to Garner, they would have scored under the sticks. But another set restart for Penrith, the 5th. It comes right, looking for a double. Sorensen, he's just short, put on his back. Less than a foot away. Plays the ball to Kenny. Spins it away right to Cleary. Then to Edwards. Quick hands by Tungle to Brian To'o. He flies through the air and To'o. He's over in the corner despite the best efforts of Jack Cogger. 2.5 minutes to go in the half. Newcastle crack with the weight of possession and field position. And it's Penrith 20, Newcastle 0. The try to winger Brian To'o.
Well, I love scoring against the Newcastle Knights, Brian To'o. That's another try to his collection against the Knights. But I tell you what, Newcastle, they did such a good job there for about 2.5 sets of defence on their line. They held him out. And the Panthers, the only way they got him was one big shift over to that right edge. They just stripped him for numbers. Some really good skill here from the Panthers. A couple of quick tip-ons at the end there. Some really nice passes from the inside men. But that money ball there from Tungle to find Brian To'o at speed and just gets enough opportunity there to reach out with his right hand and score in the corner.
That's a great dive.
That's a great dive. Especially with his leg. You can see he's still hobbling a little bit with his leg there, Brian To'o. What a finish.
Touchline, John Gibbs.
He's running his control, but that was a really good finish. But as you said, boys, it's just been the weight of possession. They've had no field position. They'll be tired. They'll be fatigued. It's a real issue. Louis, you're talking about him scoring tries. He's played 4 games at Hunter Stadium, Brian To'o. He's scored in every one. The first Panther that scored 4 in a row at this venue. So, well done, but, gee, they're in trouble here. The problem for Newcastle, unlike Gold Coast, they don't have the spark to get out of it. They can't score points. They score less points than any other team in the competition. Sorry if I'm being disrespectful, but they're the facts.
They're the facts, Jack. It's 20-0, Louis. What about your beautiful hand pass there to the man of Norfolk? That was beautiful.
Just run the hole, Gibbsy. I'll give you a short ball.
And he being inspired by the Sturgeon Moon, which has now disappeared behind cloud cover. It's all jaunty all the time. 20-0 Penrith leads Newcastle. 1 minute 15 left in the half. We'll get to some text in a second as well. Here's Cleary right over on that touchline in front of the Andrew John stand. What's he kicked 2 from 3? Takes a deep breath. Arms rocking back and forth, staring at the post. Back down at the footy, Nathan Cleary. One of the best goal kickers we've seen. He strikes it from out wide, and it doesn't look like a great connection. In fact, missed that by miles. 2 out of 4 for him, but it's Penrith 20, Newcastle 0. 1 minute 10 left in the half. On the text line, hi Andrew, hoping for a dry field tomorrow night for the Bulldogs' sake, and they should probably be training with the sprinklers on just in case of rain. Enjoying the call. Yeah, it's weird, isn't it, Rog? To be honest, Andrew, I thought Michael calling the Raiders as wooden spooners and Luke's call with the Warriors was way off with a smiley face, is Jason. Andrew, I just want to say I'm happy that the Melbourne Storm won against the Broncos last night. Would love the Knights to win tonight, but I think that might be a mountain too high for the Knights. Still don't like the Panthers. Cowboys fan from Townsville. 5 Pete inbound. Great to listen out here after my shift in rainy Gunnedah, says Jeremy. As Penrith from the kick-off, 25 out from their own line. More shallow work there from the Knights. Cleary goes left to Talangi. Dummies goes himself, wrapped up by Jacob Arthur. About 15 short of halfway. Plays it to Kenny. He sends the ball right to Luke Garner. He runs into the defence, headed up that time by Elijah Salisa Leo Moana. About 2 short of halfway. Also coming in there was Tyson Frizzell. Lindsay Smith to the right, Cleary away to Edwards to Liam Martin. Look out, it's near half-time. He's over the 30, the 20. He beats Gagai, dragged down 8 metres out. Oh, this was their time, isn't it? 30 seconds before a break. Played to Kenny. Goes left to Cleary. Short ball away. Sorensen's just short by a metre. 20 seconds to go. Last tackle, played to Kenny, goes to Smith, hit and spin, a dreadful pass on the ground. Talangi, a dreadful kick into Newcastle players. Bounces back to Talangi. Then a ball over the top by Kenny to Jenkins. They have done it again. They are the halftime specialists. They are the halftime kings. How have they done that again? And how did it happen from that kick from Talangi? Penrith 24, Newcastle 0 as the siren sound, Luke Lewis.
Yeah, I've got no idea how this happened, but some really nice ball movement right from the kickoff. Shift to the left, Blaze Slangy throws a dummy, shift straight back to the right. Liam Martin makes a great break. And then they come back towards the middle of the field. They ask a couple of questions with a short ball, and then all of a sudden they twist the ball out the back, hits the ground. Talangi picks it up. He knows there's no time left on the clock. But does that come off a Penrith player, or does that come off Dom Young and go forward? But Blaze Slangy couldn't believe it. He's lucky. He turns around after his kick and ends up back into his chest. I think it's going to come down to this touch here. That come off, I'm not too sure if that comes off Dom Young or if it comes off Luke Garner.
It looks like it's come off Young. So therefore, 6 more tackles. Kenny threw the moon ball away to Jenkins, and the try is confirmed.
There you go.
Penrith 24, Knights 0 in front of you. It happened, John Gibbs.
Oh, it's incredible. As you say, Andrew, they've had so much ball. They must be so fatigued. Phoenix Crossen also off. He's undergoing the DJI. It's a category 2. Adam O'Brien, vision of him on the screen, blowing up the Lux, but his side is under enormous pressure. 24-0, same as last week.
No, you get his kick.
21 out, a metre in from the western touchline at the John Gibbs side of Hunter Stadium.
In or out, Andrew?
In. I don't see him going to the sheds with 2 out of 5.
He's aiming to the right post. It's going to hit the post and skim in.
Oh, I love your reading of goal kick lineups. So Cleary, it is right on the touchline. 24-0, Penrith leads Newcastle. Looking for a 9th straight win. Cleary moves in. He strikes it. He likes it. He kicks the goal. He's 3 out of 5. And it's Penrith 24, Newcastle 0. Now 26-0 at half-time. Penrith 26, Newcastle 0 here at Hunter Stadium. The Penrith tries to Luke Garner in the 4th minute, Lindsay Smith in the 6th minute, Liam Henry in the 26th minute, Brian To'o in the 38th, and Tom Jenkins in the 40th. Nathan Cleary, 3 goals from 5 attempts, 5 restarts for Penrith, nothing for Newcastle. The penalties, only 1 blown by Wyatt Raymond in that first half, and that went to the Penrith Panthers. It's all Penrith, Louis, 26-0. Field position, possession, dominance. It's all there.
It's all there. But I tell you what, if I was Newcastle, they're getting a kick-off, because at the moment, the kick-off, they can't even get any pressure on them, because it's landing on about 20-metre zone, and the Penrith are already straight on the front foot, but they have absolutely dominated field position. They've been super smart with the ball. They're not making errors. They keep asking questions. They're just putting pure fatigue into that Newcastle Knights. A couple of early tries, and the Knights hang in there really, really well with their defence in some stages, but just too good at the end, the Panthers, to get a couple of extra tries before half-time.
Yeah, John Gibbs, 93% possession in the first half for Penrith, 27 completions from 29 sets. Newcastle's only had 16 sets.
Yeah, they've just been starved of the ball. I mean, this is typical play by Penrith, and as I said previously, despite the fact that Newcastle struggle to score points, they'll have learned a gigantic lesson from what happened last week when they nearly got the shock of their life from the Gold Coast Titans. So they'll be running with the breeze, Newcastle. That's the only good news I can give them for the second half. But you talk about that dominance. This is the 8th. I know you're not, Andrew, but I'm giving the game to Penrith. This will be the 8th game in a row that they've defeated Newcastle at Hunter Stadium. I mean, that in itself is staggering.
Yeah, it's quite a record, isn't it? I don't normally go this in depth with stats, but these are worth taking note of. Total runs, Penrith 123, Newcastle 76. Run meters, Louis, Penrith 1,174, Newcastle 619. Post contact meters, Penrith 403, Newcastle 253. Total tackles made, Newcastle 276, Penrith 178. There's your story right there. With Penrith leading Newcastle 26 points to 0. You're with Luke Lewis, John Gibbs. I'm Andrew Moore here at Hunter Stadium, a Friday night on ABC Sport. We'll check in with the crew in Canberra shortly, but right now we head to the ABC newsroom.
News. Hello, I'm William Howard. Israel's opposition has condemned the government's plans to take over Gaza's biggest city, saying Israel should be looking to make a deal and withdraw from the Strip. Middle East correspondent Eric Torchek reports.
Israel's security cabinet has voted to assume what it called full security control of Gaza, saying it needed to disarm the militant group Hamas and demilitarize the Strip in order to end the war. Israeli troops are reportedly preparing to invade Gaza City, where hundreds of thousands of people are sheltering. Opposition parties say the move is pointless, costly, and dangerous for a military that's exhausted, traumatized, and facing global condemnation. Many Israelis are protesting the announcement, saying the decision endangers the 50 remaining hostages in Gaza.
British Prime Minister Keir Starmer says the Israeli government's decision to escalate its offensive in Gaza is wrong. In a statement, he's urging Israel to reconsider immediately, saying this action will do nothing to bring an end to this conflict or to help secure the release of the hostages. Mr. Starmer says it will only bring more bloodshed. The leaders of Armenia and Azerbaijan will meet later today to hold what's being described as a historic peace summit at the White House. The meeting, hosted by US President Donald Trump, is aimed at ending the decades-long conflict between the former Soviet republics. Baku and Yerevan went to war twice over the disputed Karabakh region. Azerbaijan recaptured the territory from Armenian forces in a lightning offensive 2 years ago, sparking the exodus of more than 100,000 people. Victoria's Supreme Court has released a police interview with triple murderer Erin Patterson from a week after she served her husband's family a fatal lunch laced with death cap mushrooms. Last month, Ms. Patterson was found guilty of the murders of Don and Gail Patterson and Gail's sister Heather Wilkinson, as well as the attempted murder of Heather's husband Ian, who all fell ill after being served a beef Wellington made by Patterson at her home in July 2023. During the interview, police asked Patterson how she failed to become as ill as her guests.
I've been very, very helpful with the health department through the week because I wanted to help that side of things as much as possible because I do want to know what happened. So I've given them as much information as they've asked for and offered up all the food and all the information about where the food came from.
Western Australia's Minister for Science has described the scary moment his jet was forced to make an emergency landing in Geraldton in the state's Midwest. Stephen Dawson, one of his staff members and aircraft crew were all on board the government jet flying from Perth to Carnarvon. Mr. Dawson has told ABC Radio shortly before the plane was due to land, the pilot announced the landing gear was not working. He says the decision was made to divert to Geraldton because it has a wider and longer airstrip.
They moved us into different seats on the plane, and they sat us backwards, and they had us ready in a brace position for a landing. So, while it was scary, I certainly felt very comfortable being in the hands of the pilots that we had, and you just had to wait and see what happened.
Cybercrime experts are welcoming a move by the privacy watchdog to launch legal action against Optus over a major cyber attack in 2022, which exposed the data of about 9.5 million customers. The Office of the Australian Information Commissioner has filed civil penalty proceedings in the federal court, alleging the telco breached privacy laws by failing to properly protect the data in the nearly 3 years prior to the breach. Optus says it is reviewing the findings and will respond in due course. Professor of Cybercrime at the University of New South Wales, Richard Buckland, says this has been a long time coming.
And now it looks like there's a shift, and the government and the regulator are stepping up and starting to be hard on companies and holding them to high standards and saying, you actually have to treat people's data with care.
In sport, Jack Graham will play his first AFL game in 4 weeks after being named for the West Coast clash with the ladder leaders Adelaide on Sunday in Perth. Graham has served a 4-game ban for using a homophobic slur against GWS in round 17. He's joined in the side by defender Sandy Brock and ruck Matt Flynn. The Crows have made 3 changes from their win over Hawthorn, including resting Taylor Walker. ABC News.
ABC iView. Lose yourself in gripping entertainment. Somebody here. Like with The Family Next Door. Know something. Darby and Joan. I'm going to find out who did this to you. And Bay of Fires.
What the...
Always free, always gripping. ABC iView.
The summer of cricket has arrived early.
Lobs it straight down the ground for six.
He's on the pull shot. Boy, did he get that.
White ball cricket takes centre stage in the top end as Australia take on South Africa.
Shout for leg before finger goes up.
It all starts on Sunday on the ABC.
Down the pitch, there we go. Bang.
Every ball live. Just click on the cricket button.
The 2025 NRL Premiership. It's Indigenous round.
He scored 12 metres out for the ninth line. Last tackle, Penrith. Kenny dummy half. Short side left to Talangi. Got a short pass away to Garner. He's over. He only faced one defender, Leo Thompson. I'm not sure he had a chance. Try to Luke Garner. Penrith strikes early after 3 minutes and 5 seconds. 32 metres out from the ninth line. He'll play it on the last to Kenny. He goes to his right to Cleary. Up she goes from 34 metres out. Coming through his To'o against Marju. Up they go. Marju lost it. Comes back to Penrith. Leota links up with Lindsay Smith. He's going to go over and score. Steps straight through them and he's over. Great work by Leota, and then Lindsay Smith scores the try. Play to Edwards. Goes left to a running Cleary. Drifts to the left. Turns it inside to Sorensen. Sorensen beats one and threw it into a Newcastle player. It's scooped up by Penrith. That's going to be a try to the Panthers and Liam Henry. It is. Plays the ball to Kenny. Spins it away right to Cleary. Then to Edwards. Quick hands by Tungo to Brian To'o. He flies through the air and To'o. He's over in the corner despite the best efforts of Jack Cogger. 20 seconds to go. Last tackle. Played to Kenny. Goes to Smith. Hit and spin. A dreadful pass on the ground. Talangi, a dreadful kick into Newcastle players. Bounces back to Talangi. Then a ball over the top by Kenny to Jenkins. They have done it again. They are the halftime specialists. They are the halftime kings. How have they done that again?
The 2025 NRL Premiership. It's Indigenous round.
Penrith 26, Newcastle 0. Incidentally, Peter Bedell from the Courier Mail is reporting that scans have revealed significant hamstring damage for Broncos pair Ezra Mam and Selwyn Cobbo. It's likely now that both will miss the remainder of the season. As we mentioned earlier, Adam Reynolds is expected to miss up to 4 weeks. Let's go to Canberra Stadium where the Raiders tonight take on Manly Warringah. Tim Gable on the call with Alan Tongue and Sam Williams. Good evening, Tim.
Evening, Andrew. Yes, conditions fine here at Canberra Stadium, but obviously pretty cool nonetheless on a Friday night, and a big game here. The Raiders up against Manly. The referee for tonight's game is Peter Goff. Manly, of course, have lost Ben Trbojevic and Lehigh Hopewade through injury. Tom Trbojevic returns to fullback after 5 games in the centres. Tommy Talau comes into the side in the centres. Aaron Schopp is on the bench. Michael Cheekham replaces Ben Trbojevic in the second row. Cheekham returning for his first NRL game in a number of seasons. Alongside me is the former Raiders skipper Alan Tongue. Alan, a fair bit of motion in the lead up to this game for the Raiders. They'll be wearing black armbands for both Sam Bacco and Mick Tills.
Yeah, you're right, Tim. There's plenty of emotions there. Indigenous round as well. There's plenty of emotions that come into that game. But for both teams, well, Manly Seagulls, basically their season's on the line, isn't it, Tim? So it's a huge motivation for them. The Raiders, they want to bounce back. Last week against the Dragons, tough start. They were about 70% against them possession-wise. So they only had 30% of the ball basically in the first half against the Dragons in really, really tough conditions. They got it to 10 all at half-time, but then just couldn't come back in that second half there. The Dragons worthy winners of that one. And for Manly last week against the Roosters, well, the Roosters never really looked like getting beat, but conditions, once again, they're both teams that probably prefer a drier track. They've got speed to burn outside, out wide, both teams. So I think the conditions, as you mentioned, yes, it is a little bit cool, but it's still pretty good conditions for footy here. So I'm expecting a real entertaining game. Manly got nothing to lose, and a big talking point, no doubt, right throughout this week. Tommy Turbo, back at fullback, his favourite position. You know, they're trying to minimise a bit of load on him out there in the centres. He comes back to fullback. I think he's going to be in for a really, really big game. So I can't wait to look at that. For the Raiders, I really think that they need to take this Manly side into an old school battle. They need to take them into a street brawl and take them down and try and do that. If they try and outscore them, Manly's going to be in with a big chance. But if they take them to the trenches and really try and go through the middle of them, the forward pack roll and make their meters like they do, they should win it. But I tell you what, Manly, they're an exciting side to watch. Cherry Evans, obviously in his final year at Manly there, but he pulls the strings. His kicking game's going to be really important tonight.
And Manly are a bogey team for the Raiders. Manly have won 8 of the past 11 games against the Raiders. Raiders, of course, have got a very good home record. They've won 9 of 10 here at Canberra Stadium, but Manly did defeat the Raiders 40 points to 12 in round 3, and they always seem to create some problems for the Raiders, especially when Tom Trbojevic plays at fullback.
Yeah, you're right. And if you're looking at a way that you want to beat the Raiders, you're going to have to move them around side to side, then go through the middle. Manly have got that attacking style to them. So some really good signs there for Manly. I can't wait, Tim.
Good on you, Alan. We're just waiting for the final teams to come through, Andrew, but Peter Goff is the referee for tonight's game here at Canberra Stadium.
Timmy, just before we go, Penrith's already back, so we don't have long, but just on Sam Backo, and you watched his career. He was such a dynamic player in the late 80s with Canberra. Big reason why they made the 87 grand final, and then with Brisbane and for Queensland and Australia. I was talking to Blocker before, Steve Roach, who toured a kangaroo tour with him in 1990. He said the modern day equivalent when Sam was at his best was Payne Haas. No one could bust the line like Sam. He was amazing there for about 4 years.
Yeah, he was just an iconic character in Canberra. He was with the Raiders 83 to 88. He played 114 games for the Raiders. He joined the club from a second division side in Canberra, the Valley Statesman, and apparently walked into the office of the coach then, Don Ferner, and said, "I'm here to play first grade," and they signed him a couple of weeks later. He was just so upfront with everything, Sam, and got to know him a little bit in 1988 when I came here, and he owned a bottle shop with Ivan Hanchak down at the Arundel Centre, and back in the days when footy players had jobs. But yeah, just a character, that's for sure.
Yeah, Blocker told me like 20 stories in 10 minutes, and he spoke to him last week, and Sam knew he was in trouble, but was still having a laugh, so he'll be sorely missed. All right, thank you, boys. Here's the kick-off, and Newcastle have it 19 metres out from their own goal line. Penrith 26, Newcastle 0, as now Jermaine McEwen hits it up on play 2. He scored 28 out from his own goal line for the Knights. Dummy half is Brayley. He works it away right. Backing his way into the defence there is Salisa Leomowana. 12 short of halfway. Now Newcastle get to within 7 of halfway. 3 tackles into the set. Ball played to Brayley. He sends it centre field right. Through hands away now to Frizzell running off Croker. And Frizzell, good run, gets 7 or 8 metres in Penrith territory. Gee, they haven't seen much of that side of the field. Now Brayley sends it away. Through hands left. Cogger away. Good ball to McEwen, who then threw it straight into Liam Martin. Bounces off his chest and he regathers it. So all that good work in that first set comes asunder as Penrith has it on their 30, and Martin plays it, and the dummy half scoots Isaac Tungor to within 13 of halfway. Penrith 26, Newcastle 0. Cleary dummy half, goes left to Liam Henry. He scored 9 short of the halfway paint as the rain starts here at Hunter Stadium. Oh, Gibbsy manipulating his umbrella. I tell you, folks, I know you can't see it. It's one of the great sights on the planet Earth, under the Sturgeon moon. Ball played to Kenny, sends it left. Hitting the ball up now for Penrith is Sorensen, wrapped up 4 metres in Knights territory. Why wouldn't it rain at a Knights game? Comes to the right, Cleary from 48 metres out. A real wobbly kick. Following it through, though, is Toll. Comes off his boot, regathers at 30 out, gives it to Tungor. And instead of passing it, he sends in a dreadful kick straight down the throat of Newcastle. But it's a penalty. Coming back to Penrith for contact on the legs of Nathan Cleary. So just the second penalty of the game. It goes to Penrith. 30 metres out from the Knights line. 2 metres in from touch on the western side.
Not much in it.
I'm just getting my first look now. He's just in the air as he was collected there by Pierce Paul. You're right, the contact was minimal. They play the ball 20 metres out, or take the tap rather. Kenny goes left to Cleary. Dummy, then goes on his outside. Casey McLean accelerated, but dragged to the ground desperately 10 metres out from the goal line by Fletcher Hunt. He plays the ball, they work it to the right, and now with it is Luke Garner. And he started the try scoring, didn't he? Back in the 4th minute, tackled 2 metres out from the goal line, southern end. Rain getting heavier here at Hunter Stadium. Played to Kenny, goes right to Lindsay Smith, stops, props, straightens, and Lindsay Smith scored 2 out from the goal line in centre field. Gagai was in there with Croker and Brayley. Kenny. Spins it right to Cleary. Then to Dylan Edwards. But the defence up in his grill. Very good defensive work from Bradman Best. And Edwards goes nowhere but to the deck. 11 out. Ball going to be played to Kenny. 2 tackles left for Penrith. Goes left Cleary. Then on to Henry, centre field. Good leg drive from Liam Henry, but he stopped. 4 out from the line in front of the left upright. Last tackle Penrith. It'll be Kenny swinging it to the left. Finds Nathan Cleary. Then out the back. Quick hands from Talangi to McLean. Left foot step. Casey McLean gets into the in-goal area. Can he get it down? That's the question. White Raymond answers to the positive. 3 minutes 20 gone, second half. Casey McLean, the try for Penrith. And it's now Penrith 3-0-30. Newcastle 0 under the wet at Penrith. No, we're not. We're at Hunter Stadium. May as well be Panther Stadium as good as Penrith's going, Luke Lewis.
Yeah, it's really good work here by the Panthers. A couple of nice plays to get to this position. And I like what Blaise Talangi does here. He slows his play up. He gets the ball, not running at 100 miles an hour that we have seen all night. And he just waits for the right pass. He doesn't go long or play short. Gives it to Casey McLean. And just nice footwork there on Fletcher. Hunt gets him on the inside shoulder. And that's just too easy there for Casey McLean.
That work from Talangi is basically exactly what you call for in the first half. Touchline under the brolly, John Gibbs.
Yeah, the rain is building down here. It's going to be very slippery, and that probably contributed to Nathan Cleary just getting a little bump. It was inconsequential, but that penalty has led them to having more possession, and they worked it well. Talangi held the ball up well. Casey McLean has been in good form in the last few months, has done a good job. It is pelting down now, Andrew.
And you can hear it on your famous brolly. It is bucketing down. Yuck. I don't want Johnny or Ralphie to get soaked down there, but more, even a bigger picture, I don't want to be driving home in this.
No, it'll stop when we drive.
Okay. I like your confidence.
I'll make it.
You do have the rainbow planted firmly and squarely in the how you going. So here's Cleary. 18 out, 7 in from the eastern touchline. 4 minutes 39 gone second half. And it's Penrith 30, Newcastle 0. 6 tries now, including 3 in the last 6 footballing minutes. Here's Cleary. Moving in his kick, 3 from 5. In the rain, he strikes it. Cleary likes it, kicks the goal. His 4th of the evening. Penrith now leading Newcastle 32 points to 0. With Luke Lewis, John Gibbs, I'm Andrew Moore. I'll ask you this question, Gibbs, if you can hear me amidst the rain. If they score another try or so with 20 to go, does Nathan Cleary get a breather for the last 20?
I would say they'd be silly not to, particularly in these slippery conditions. Just by the way, I tell you, someone else, if the score keeps going up, might get a breather. Adam O'Brien.
Well, if they've frosted the glass over, we can't see him there anymore. But I can imagine.
Mate, very disrespectful down there, John.
Here's a kick-off from Gagai. It only goes 36 metres, taken by a sliding Dylan Edwards. Gets up and threatened to offload, but he rightfully erred on the side of caution as he's caught by McEwen. 14 out from his own line. Now Kenny goes left to Martin. He slips straight over. And we might see, as Johnny mentioned, a bit of that. 17 out from the Penrith line. Handy weather conditions, Louis, to have a 32-0 lead.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. There are going to be a lot of drop balls to finish this next 35 minutes. But, look, the Panthers just aren't making mistakes again. They'll be happy just to get to 40 and kick into that corner.
Yeah. Sorensen, 28 out from his own line, plays it. Kenny goes right, Smith. Tackle mid-quarter halfway, and here's the last. It is absolutely pouring down. Cleary. He kicks it. Gagai has to run into it. Won't get there. Tried to trap it. Went under his foot. He goes back for a Gagai. 15 out from his own goal line. Then straight, and Sorensen comes in over the top. 21 metres out from the Knights line. I need the binoculars here. It's getting hard to see these players on that side with the rain. Dom Young. Forgot he was even out there. He's going to be caught on his own 30-metre line by Garner. And Henry plays it to Brayley. Short ball goes left. Here's a stepping run from Greg Marju, caught 12 short of halfway, and 20 in from touch western side. Cleary was in there along with Henry. Now to the right they go. Croker to Arthur. He links up with support on that far side as the rain just eases a little. And Newcastle still 4 metres short of halfway. Gagai will play it now. Does so to Brayley. They stack the short side right. Arthur got the ball away and the tackle made. 7 metres in Penrith territory. Played on the last. Kick from Arthur, 46 metres out. It's high, it doesn't go very far. Edwards wants it though. Fletcher Hunt came in. The ball ricochets over the eastern touchline. And it was knocked on by Fletcher Hunt. So Penrith will get the changeover. About 22 out from their own line. 6 minutes 30 gone second half. And it's Penrith 32, Newcastle 0. On the text line, Andrew and crew, you know how seriously I take my footy, is always enjoying the call, but you could please ask MC, with respect, in respect to next season, if you could respectfully tip the Mighty Eels to get the wooden spoon in 26. All the lads may need is a little help. Very respectful of you, Clint. Here's Penrith now with Brian To'o. I reckon just about every club will be asking Michael to tip them for the spoon next year. Lindsay Smith has been very good. He gets a breather, and Matt Eisenhuth comes on. As To'o 13 short of halfway.
Tackle 2.
We'll go back and play it. 14 short of halfway to Keck. Goes left to Liam Martin. Looking run, typical of Liam Martin. Backs his way to within 4 metres of halfway. That rain that I mentioned had abated slightly. It's back on full pelt. Now to Eisenhuth. His 50's still down. There he is. And floated away. 2 metres in Knights territory. Played to Kenny. Goes left to Dylan Edwards. Edwards up over the 40. Wrapped up 36 out from the Knights line. Look at these Knights supporters still on the hill. They are fair dinkum getting a shellacking from the rain and on the field. And they're still out there. Now the kick goes down, taken by Marju. 4 out from his own goal line. That's Penrith to a tee right there, Louis.
Yep.
Complete the set and make Newcastle start deep in their own territory. Marju will play it 9 out from his own line.
And they'll get a lot of benefit out of doing that now, because what will happen is they'll kick to that corner, they'll get their first 3 plays right, and they'll force an error in the next couple of sets, and Newcastle Knights will be on the back foot again.
About the sound of the pelting rain.
It's ridiculous.
Gibbs, are there any cats or dogs out there?
No, but I've seen some sturgeons swimming across the sideline.
Oh, well, it's their time. It's the time of the Sturgeonator. Here's a hit up from Frizzell. Tackled 27 out from the Knights line. Played to Brayley. Goes right to Croker. And Matt Croker's going to be tackled. 34 out from his own line. Thomas Cant comes on the field for Newcastle for the first time. Their 4th interchange. A penalty going against Mitch Kenny in the tackle. Contact to the head. In fact, it's Eisenhuth, one of his first plays of the game, gives away their first penalty. 2-1 the penalties to Penrith, and this 15 metres short of halfway. 8 minutes 45 gone second half. Penrith 32, Newcastle 0. Is this a G up?
You know what, you're looking up and straight into the rain that's coming in. You can actually see
they
the
look
rain.
big.
They're massive. But the Newcastle Knights, they needed that penalty. They've got to keep a little bit of pressure on the Panthers now and try and keep the ball down this end of the field.
Newcastle 9 metres in Penrith's half. Comes to the left, Croker turns it into Frizzell. And Tyson's tackled 33 out from the Penrith line. After this one, it's Canberra v Manly Warringah at Canberra Stadium. Brayley sends the ball right. Chip over the top by Jacob Arthur. He's leading the race, well clear of Dylan Edwards, but the ball ends up being punched over the dead ball line. Jacob Arthur showed speed I wasn't sure he had. So the ball has been tapped over the dead ball line by Penrith. 9 minutes 30 gone second half. Penrith 32, Newcastle 0, and Tom Jenkins got there just ahead of Jacob Arthur.
Yeah, good work there by Jenkins to get back and knock it dead. And nice bit of vision there from Jacob Arthur to put a kick over in that space and show a bit of toe to get there. I tell you what, if Jenkins doesn't come from where he does, that's try there for the Knights.
So now the line dropout. Coming from Penrith's clearing. Line drive, it ricocheted off Jaden Brayley, and back it goes 30 metres out from the goal line where it's scooped up by Arthur. He said the pass left and the Knights are 29 out. So for one of the few times they're being tested here, Penrith, or should be, here comes left Croker. He's felled. 24 out from the Penrith goal line. Penrith 32, Newcastle 0. Brayley sends it right to Cogger. Inside ball to Thomas Cant. And he can't go far. Tackled 20 out from the line with, over the top there, Matt Eisenhuth. Or was it Henry? It was Henry. Now they go left Cogger. Sends it into Bradman Best. Best puts in a little stab kick. In behind Dylan Edwards. Dylan gets there first and slides like he's on a slip and slide about 10 metres to the dead ball line. And I think he and Bradman Best had a little chat about that as they slid together. Goal line drop out again, Penrith. 29 and a bit to go. Panthers 32, Newcastle 0 on the text line. Andrew, John, Luke, love the odd couple tonight. Shout out to my lovely friend Jodie and Mackay, best Cowboys fan ever. Enjoy your evening, boys. Thank you, Dion. Here's the line drop out. Goes on the ground, dived on though by McEwen, who then got up and got away from Isaac Tunghall. Bounces straight through Mitch Kenny, and now tackled 29 out from the Penrith line.
I can't believe how quick the puddles have just filled up.
I know. Remember the damage from last week with the NRLW Magic round. Got the hammering. Here's the Panthers defending. Frizzell, 15 out, plays the ball to Brayley, goes right to Cogger, rather that was Croker playing it, then to Arthur, the late pass away from left to right in the defence of Tom Jenkins, too good there on Gagai, and back 19 out from the Penrith line. But the Knights looking for their first points of the encounter. Out of dummy half, Jaden Brayley, crosses the 10, caught 8 metres out, he landed in a pup. 2 tackles left for Newcastle. They swing it to the left. Candlehill way to a juggling Cogger. Got through Liam Martin, but now put to the ground by Cleary. 8 metres out from the goal line with help from Sorensen. Last tackle, Knights. Brayley put in a stab kick. It's in goal again. And coming through for Newcastle and claiming the try is Matt Croker. Did he beat Kenny? We go to the bunker.
I have no try. I believe Penrith rounded first.
So Kenny against Croker. The race in the rain. Who won it? Croker's getting high five.
The kick chase is onside.
It's Ash Klein in the bunker.
Could it be simultaneous?
Kenny's in front. Here comes Croker. I've got no idea.
All angles to see whether we have a simultaneous grounding. The right hand of Mitch Kenny is on the ball. From the other side,
what about the paused raindrops there?
Matt Croker's hand is also on the ball. This is a simultaneous grounding. We have a decision.
Right on.
Jeez, your amazing eyes got it done again. So it's going to be a try to Matt Croker. 28 minutes to go. Knights will finally get a cheer. Here we go on the screen. Try. And it's now 32 points to 4. Try to Matt Croker. And that comes in the 53rd minute. Conversion attempt from right in front. Get down to Gibbsy after the kick from Jack Cogger. Here he is, 10 metres out, and he lands the goal. So it's now Penrith 32, Newcastle 6, down to you, John Gibbs.
Well, their last 5 minutes has been pretty good in these conditions to be able to handle the ball, and they've come up with some judicious kicks, and that was another one. And you don't see many of those. I can't remember seeing one of those, a simultaneous grounding, in recent seasons.
No, so true.
The moon's back.
There was what a time for the moon to come out, the old Sturgeon House. Just looking down on this joint getting absolutely poleaxed with rain. But there she is, looking beautiful. Here's the restart from Dylan Edwards. He sends it for a puddle of water down to the southwest corner, fielded by Cogger. He gives the pass away to his right to Greg Marju, and he's going to be tackled 16 out from his own line. Now dummy half, Cogger. He sends the ball open side right, Jermaine McEwen. He's going to be wrapped up by Eisenhuth, Henry and Kenny. 21 out from the Knights line. Brayley goes to the right again. Cant away to Arthur. He turns it back on the inside. And Kai Pearce-Paul hit to the ground. And now back to his feet. 28 out from his own line. Now Brayley goes centre field left. Getting the ball up is Frizzell. Caught 12 short of halfway. Brayley, he sends it left again. Hit up the middle from Croker. Caught 3 short of halfway. Bring up the last for the Knights. As Brayley goes left, the kick will come for Cogger. No, he dummied the kick. Sent a cut-out ball to Best. He puts the left boot to the ball. It bounces and skids between Edwards. And also now picking it up Jenkins. Jenkins returns it close to the 20. Taken by Arthur over the top. 17 out from his own line. And with 26 and a half to go. Penrith 32 lead Newcastle 6. As now Casey McLean hits it up. Louis caught 27 out from his own line for Penrith.
Well, the Newcastle Knights have definitely picked up their act in the second half. They're making a lot more metres coming out of the back end of the field. They're willing to shift the ball on last play, and they're getting their kick chase right. Their line speed's also there as well, and he's going to throw a little bit of whack into that hit, and they'll force a few errors here.
Here's Matt Eisenhuth. He doesn't go far. Caught 13 short of halfway. Played to Kenny. He sends the ball right to Moses Liotta back on the field. He face plants 2 short of halfway. And on the last, a kick from Cleary. End over end with a ton of backspin on it. Taken by Gagai. 15 out from his own line. Heads up over the 20 to Tungor and Martin. And he'll play it 28 out from his own line. Penrith 32, Newcastle 6. And Gibbsy, the rain seems to be easing at the moment.
Fortunately, it is. I'm trying to...
What happened with your microphone there, champion?
I'm trying to juggle I didn't bring my plastic sleeve down,
no.
so I'm trying to keep my program pristine, and that's a little bit difficult. But the rain was so heavy, just in front of me, between me and the ground, it's like a moat. Look out.
Here's a drop ball, though, Gibbsy. Oh, that's play on, Whopper. It's picking it up. Jermaine McEwen keeps it on the toe for 3rd time and scores. There's a knock on for sure. McEwen celebrates by sliding over the dead ball line. We are going to the bunker.
I believe the ball hit ground just before he negates the knock-on with his boot.
Tell you what, show some great skill to keep the ball in with his foot.
How many times did he kick that? 3?
3 times. It's going to be this one here. Does it hit the ground?
Comes off the hand of Newcastle player. The ball that hits the ground, he does not negate the knock-on. We have a decision.
Yeah, all for naught in the end. It clearly hit the ground. So I'll come back for a knock-on back to about halfway. On the text line, 0467 920 222, Angry Wazza says, I've had enough of this rubbish. O'Brien should be sacked effective immediately. Kate says, great call, boys. Guess Lou's prediction that the number 24 would factor in tonight. Before that conversion, Panthers were leading 24-0. Ian from Brisbane, good evening all the way. Penrith will win by 50. 0467 920 222. Great to see Luke Garner in the points and playing positively. Things are bad at the Knights if Jake Abartha's in the halves. Well, their alternatives aren't that much more flash, I've got to say. Loving the call, fellas. Great jerseys for both teams. I love Indigenous art. Please describe Jonty equipped for the rain down there. Lols from Pom Bob. I don't know that he's actually got as many layers as he did last Sunday at Western Sydney Stadium, as Penrith has it 6 metres in Newcastle territory. It comes to the right to Matt Eisenhuth, and he's wrapped up 37 out. I think missing from your attire, Gibbsy, is Julianne's blue jacket.
It's in my bag just behind you.
Oh, no. I'll put it on for you.
Yeah, it's there, Louis. Don't worry. I had a look before I came down. I took a calculator risk. It was a bad one.
Yeah, it was clear. He sets it on the inside of Liam Martin in many ways, Jonty, because when you check your bag, that was before Louis did. Here's Newcastle with a drop ball from Penrith, and they floated out the back. The Gagai caught 18 out from his own line, Newcastle. I just don't know why you ended up putting it where you put it. It was a strange choice, Louis. Here's Fletcher Hunt getting through one. Caught 28 out from his own line. 15 minutes 30 gone second half. Penrith 32, Newcastle 6. Dom Young with a rare run tonight. Runs into the defence of Tungor and put to the ground. McLean over there. About 37 out from the Newcastle line. Comes to the left of Fletcher Hunt. Ran right across field and easily picked off by Liam Henry. 13 short of halfway. Played to Brayley. Centre field left. Through hands. Cogger to Gagai to the 40. Then a lovely ball to Best. He's straight past one. Then got the ball back. Sprinting away is Jermaine McEwen. He'll get his try here. And Penrith better watch out that a Gold Coast doesn't happen to them again tonight. Because their intent in defence has dropped right off again. 23 minutes 40 to go. Jermaine McEwen scores. Beautiful passes all the way around. Penrith 32, Newcastle 10 with a kick to come and 23 and a half left.
Yeah, nice bit of a shift here from the Newcastle Knights. They've got to play some footy. They've got to ask some questions, and they finally do. Really good work here by Dane Gagai. He throws a little bit of a dummy. He squares up the defence. It creates a 3-on-2 opportunity, and it comes up with a beautiful little short ball. And McEwen, he goes over as you like. He got denied before with the knock on, and to come up some brilliant skill with the boot, a bit of soccer. But yeah, now he's come up with a simple try, just a little bit of a runaway, but nice hole there from Bradman Best.
Yeah, he ran straight through Brian To'o, and then great timing with the pass. Here's Cogger. 15 out, down 5 to the left of the post. 23 minutes to play. Cogger right foot kicker. Strikes it, likes it, kicks it. He's 2 out of 2. Still 20 the difference. Penrith 32, Newcastle 12 at Gibbsy. The Knights have scored 2 tries in 4 minutes.
Well, that will give them a lot of confidence. I've got to say, Jermaine McEwen, we saw the skill when he just dropped the ball before. His soccer skills, he's got some great dash. Beautiful work by Gagai and Best, the big guns that are left in this Newcastle side. But McEwen showed a lot of pace there, and as soon as he got the ball, he was always going to score. I've got to say, if he was a horse, I'd be backing him as a mud runner.
Yeah, he's been great. Kick-off coming from Dylan Edwards. Mate, if he was a horse, you'd have already backed him about 38 times.
No, I don't think so. He's a yearling.
Here's the kick from Dylan Edwards. Down to the southern end. It's going to be taken about 5 out from the goal line by Greg Marju. He should get back to the 20 here and does. He goes straight through one. Tackle attempt from Martin. Now put to the ground, 21 out from his own line. So can Newcastle keep this current patch going? Here's Jacob Safidi back on the field. He's met in a 3-man tackle of Liam Henry.
They're going to keep playing footy.
Eisenhuth among them. Now the next player is the try scorer, McEwen. Put on his back, 29 out from his own goal line. Played to Brayley. Left to right, Cant. Got the pass away to Arthur. He's knocked to the ground, 14 short of halfway. 2 tackles to come here for the Knights. Played to Brayley. Sent it left to Frizzell. He's knocked to the deck, 8 short of halfway. Last tackle, centre field. Dummy half Brayley goes right. Jacob after the kick with his right boot. Getting back there. Edwards takes it on the full, having moved to his left. 10 out from his own line. Heads up over the 20. Gets the offload away to his left to Jenkins. And Jenkins has scored 30 out from his own line. We've had 18 minutes of the second half. And currently the second half score is 12-6 to Newcastle. But unfortunately, they were down 32-0 and now 32 points to 12 as Isaiah Papali'i returns to the field. The fifth interchange. Remembering you're allowed 8 for the Penrith side. As Penrith 8 short of halfway centre field. Ball played to Kenny by To'o. He sends it away left edge. And Talangi takes on the defence, but put to the ground by Camden Arthur. 2 metres in Newcastle territory. Kenny goes right to Papali'i. Straight up the middle. Caught 39 out for the Knights line. Bring up the last tackle for Penrith. Kenny. He goes to his right to Cleary. The kick from 42 metres out. It's a wobbly looking thing again. It's going to come down to Liam Martin and he loses the ball forward. There's an ordinary looking kick from Cleary. Newcastle change over. 20 out from their own line. 19 gone second half. Panthers 32, Knights 12.
Yeah, he's trying to get like one of those sort of floaters, but he sort of mishit it a little bit, and it just goes straight up and straight down. Floats to the sideline a little bit there, but they've sort of gone away from kicking into that little right 10-metre corridor.
They've gone away from a lot of things.
Looks like they've got a little bit cold. That's what it looks like. I don't want to make any more tackles. We're up ahead. We're up by enough.
Yeah, 32 out from their own line is where Dom Young is tackled for Newcastle. Played to Brayley. Goes left to Dane Gagai. And the Knights fullback. He's held up 9 metres short of halfway. Penrith 32, Newcastle 12. Now the right edge. Is the head up coming for Newcastle from Thomas Cant. Caught 3 metres in Penrith territory on play 4. Dummy half Brayley goes left to Cogger. Dummies then got the pass away to Gagai. Went without it. Scooped up by Liam Martin. How much pace he got? He decided to give it to a much quicker man in To'o. To'o spins away from Gagai, away from Cogger, away from a third. Now tackled 12 metres out from the line. 20 minutes gone. 20 minutes left. If they go left, they have to score. Cleary, Talangi. And he puts in a... What are you doing, Blaze Talangi? Anyway, it's a penalty. Penalty because Newcastle inside the 10. They had an overlap. There was 78 against 2, and Blaze Talangi put in a ridiculous kick, but they get the penalty for inside the 10, so it doesn't matter anyway.
Yeah, that was horrendous. That was an horrendous play by Blaze Talangi. He did set, has a player sitting over in front of him. He's got a 3-on-1, and all he has to do is pass to McLean. And McLean or Jenkins were going over untouched. But, silly play there, but they do get the penalty. Next best, I suppose, opportunity, whatever.
And take the taps. You've given up. You've gone cold. Papali'i tackled 6 metres out. Of course, your next few sentences are going to be, I'll be on the edge of my pew. Ball played to Kenny. Sends it right, Eisenhuth turns it into Moses Leota. I feel entries to the Louis Dictionary, not far away. 4 metres out, Penrith, leading 32 to 12. Kenny sends the ball left to Eisenhuth. Cleary. Inside ball away to Casey McLean, ran right across field, and by the time he straightened into camp, the defence was there. 7 out right in front of the southern post. Kenny, right to Cleary. Defence rushed at him, beat the first, but then can't escape Jacob Safidi's clutches. 7 out from the goal line. 2 tackles left Penrith. Kenny dummy half goes back open side left to Leota. He chews up a tackle just into the teeth of the defence. A metre out. He'll play it on the last. Right in the centre of the ground. Played to Kenny. Fires it right to Cleary. Puts in a stab kick. Coming through is Isaac Tungor. Does he get it down first or the Newcastle chaser? We're going to the bunker. Could this be the second simultaneous try of the night?
It's going to be close, Andrew. Very close.
18 minutes 12 to go. So it goes up no try. Tungor against Gagai. They reach out.
Interference on Liam Martin.
I don't think it matters. I think it's a try.
That's simultaneous.
On the side.
I need Ash Klein to say that word again.
The contact's incidental. It's play on.
Tungor against Gagai. Gagai did well to cover some ground in the in-goal area. They reach out and...
That is...
Gagai might have got there first.
Gagai's hand is underneath and grounds the ball first.
Oh, is that far from second simultaneous?
What, 1 millimetre?
Imagine 2 simultaneouses under a Sturgeon mood. That is unprecedented in rugby league. Touchline John Gibbs.
That would have been incredible, and it was so close. He did a good job. Great effort there from Dane Gagai, who always tries for Newcastle. He's been a grand campaigner, Dane Gagai. And I've got to say, the wind has dropped a little bit. You see from that line drop out, It's a short one, and it's taken by Penrith on the attack they go since that rain squall has died down the wind.
All right, that's good news, Jonty. It's from the line dropout was short but too deep. It went to the 30-metre line and collected by Jenkins. He plays it, goes left to Moses Liotta. Good strong run, gets to within 10 of the Knights line. 18 minutes to go. That is Penrith 32, Newcastle 12. Cleary turns the ball into Eisenhuth. He's caught 8 metres out from the Newcastle line. In front of the right upright. Pemiot in the centre third here. Kenny goes left to Papali'i. Left foot step by Isaiah, and he crashes through to score if you don't mind. As they got a set restart as well there, Penrith, but they don't need it. Isaiah Papali'i just crashes through to score. 17 minutes, 30 to go. Penrith now 36, Newcastle 12 with a kick to come, and Isaiah Papali'i gets the high fives from his teammates.
Yeah, good work there for Isaiah Papali'i. He's done a great job here, really. He gets a bit of a nothing sort of ball, not much sort of doing around the middle of the field. There's a couple of Newcastle Knights defenders, and then when he gets it, he just sort of goes, I'll get down low here, and I will be able to slide over, but reaches out, gets it right near the post, and gets a pretty simple try, and I reckon that's the one that seals the deal.
Touchline, John Gibbs.
Yeah, they should be able to settle things down now. They've been powerful, haven't they? It's been the forwards basically has been doing the bulk of scoring. We've seen Jenkins and To'o score, but all of the forwards have been scoring and doing a good job. I think Isaiah Papali'i, particularly in the last month or so, has played some really good footy.
So here's Nathan Cleary, 10 out, next to the post, and he kicks the goal. His 5th from 7 attempts. Penrith 38, Newcastle 12, 16 minutes 30 to go. Let's go to the text line, 0467 920 222. G'day, Andrew. I'm currently driving from Old Bar down to Sydney to meet my brand new nephew, Patrick. And the drive has been made all the sweeter listening to a cracker from the Mighty Panthers, hoping I'll be able to tell the little fella all about the Mighty Panthers. 5 feet one day. Loving the call. Good on you, Emily, and enjoy your time with little Patrick. What's this one? Let's chat on WhatsApp. It's fast, simple and secure app we can use to message and call each other for free. Get at it. We'll do. Well, Lou and I will sign up right after the game. Here's a short kickoff. It comes back for Newcastle, 38 metres out as Thomas Cant has the ball. Jack's listening from North Wales. Nothing better than footy on the wireless. Great job as always. Sick of the same old Knights. Nothing in attack. Soft as in defence. Feel for the fans sitting in the rain watching this again. Can't wait to watch the Kangaroos in Liverpool at the end of the year. Yeah, that's going to be enormous, Jack. I've got news on that in just a tick as the Knights are 30 metres out from Penrith's line. Play to Brayley, goes left to Cogger, and then sends it back to the right to Bradman Best, 25 metres out. 18 in from touch, western side. Knights looking for their third try of the half. Comes to the right, Cogger away Frizzell, and then he linked up out wide to Leo Thompson, and 6 more tackles. 20 metres out, touched by Penrith. So the ball will be played. Comes to the left, Frizzell away to Jacob Safidi. Repeat set here for the Knights. Well, they trail 38-12, but Penrith, I think we'll be concerned about their second half defence back-to-back weeks. Cogger to the right. Arthur floated a beautiful pass from left to right. But unfortunately, it was a beautiful pass if the target was touch judge Casey Badger. But it wasn't, you know. So the ball just goes over the eastern touch line with no Newcastle player within. And they give up possession. Penrith play the ball 10 out from their own line with a 38-12 lead.
Yeah, I think Jacob was just hoping that Dominic Young was just flying down the sideline and he picked the pass right. But yeah, that was a pass only for Casey. She's the only one that could have caught it and scored, but didn't.
So now the Panthers from play 1 get 31 out from their own line. To'o plays it. And it comes right edge. And the penalty against Knights for inside the 10. So the penalty's now 4-1 to the Panthers, and this 30 metres out from the Penrith line with 14 and a half to go. I like this from Sean on the text line. If Tedesco is a pinball, To'o is a bowling ball. That's a great description. Wayne from Mildura says, Andrew, I think the Panthers have clocked off and are mentally getting ready for next Thursday. Yeah, they play Melbourne at Western Sydney Stadium Thursday night. Louis, that's the sort of game that will prevent me from sleeping, I reckon, on Tuesday and Wednesday. As Penrith, not really, Penrith get 9 metres in Newcastle's half. It comes to the left, Edwards away to Liotta, but you know what I mean, that game is going to be so huge.
Yeah, absolutely.
Rematch of the grand final apart from anything else.
There's going to be a couple of good games coming up in the next couple of weeks.
Now Eisenhuth goes left to Cleary. Cleary over the third, he nearly got through, ends up in a puddle. Tackled by Arthur, 21 metres out from the Knights line, 10 in from the eastern touchline. It's played. They work it right to Edwards. Got the ball away to Papali'i. Isaiah caught in front, 12 metres out. 4 tackles gone here for the Panthers as it's played to the dummy half, Brad Schneider, who's out there. Stab kick by Cleary, heading in goal, and flying through a puddle, claiming a try is Casey McLean. He got there before Gagai. That is brilliant speed from McLean. Try, don't tell me that's simultaneous. Penrith 42, Newcastle 12, 13 and a half to go. Perfectly executed kick from Cleary and a wonderful chase by the speedy McLean.
Yeah, good work here by McLean and obviously Nathan Cleary, but the communication, you could tell both of the... tell you what, I want to see that put down again.
Do you want to see the put down or the puddle that McLean ended up in?
Oh, I just want to see Gagai's hand here as well. Anyway.
It didn't look very clean, did it? Although here's the replay.
Oh, looks simultaneous.
Let's go down to the touchline, John Gibbs.
Well, has he dropped? Has he gone over the top of it? No, I reckon he's brushed it down. Downward pressure. You can see there.
Well, hand near the wrist, Gibbs, he may get it down.
Yeah, it's terribly close here, and the vision is difficult because of the big splash. It's down.
Yeah, I reckon it is. Gagai got his hand there. Try is confirmed. So it's now Penrith 42, Newcastle 12 with a kick to come. Try there to Casey McLean. So that's 2 tries in 5 minutes for Penrith. And 8 in the game. McLean's second. There's some numbers for you. 42 to 12. Here's Cleary. About 18 metres out. 12 in from touch on the eastern side. And the draw with the Cowboys comes in handy for Penrith in the top 4. Game, set, bingo. Yes, well set. Cleary. So far tonight, 5 from 7. In or out, Louis?
Yeah, I've already rated him, so he's in there.
12 in from touch. 12 minutes left.
44-12.
You've already written that in as well. You've written everything. Here's Cleary. Moves in, strikes it, heading towards the post. Never looked like
what he's doing.
He's had a couple of ordinary kicks tonight. That's one of them. 5 from 8 for Nathan Cleary. Get out your racer, Louis. 12 minutes to go. Penrith 42. Newcastle 12. No sport yet to update around the grounds. Geelong and Essendon in the AFL getting underway shortly at Cardinia Park. Geelong in the top 4. Essendon well out of it all. Canberra and Manly Ringer to come. You'll hear that with Tim Gable, Alan Tugg and Sam Williams. There'll be a moment's silence as well for the late, great Sam Backo. So here's the short kick-off coming from Gagai down to the eastern side of the field. Touched by Newcastle. Players slipping everywhere and diving on it is Nathan Cleary. Leah Thompson, I think, got first hand to it, but Cleary ends up with it 34 out from his own goal line. Played to Schneider. Comes open side right. It's a galloping run from Garner. Tackled 9 metres short of halfway. I'm going to call up the Panthers, says Chris from Adelong. Andrew and Louis listening to the call whilst road tripping through country France. Love the commentary, very entertaining, says Gary, Belinda, Chris and Andrea. Not Andrea. Andrea. I hope you're live in France. Your family's recently come back from a little trip there amongst other places. Son and the kids.
It's a beautiful little place over there, especially out west.
Now Penrith comes to the right to Isaiah Papali'i. Wrapped up, no, got the pass away to Dylan Edwards. He darts from left to right and easily picked off by Safidi. 10 metres in Knights territory. Last tackle Penrith, they got this well in the bag at 42 to 12 with 11 to go. Cleary, stab kick, keeps it very low between Gagai and Marju. Marju bends down, picks it up 5 out from his own goal line. Good leg drive, gets him close to the 20, taken there by Martin, Tungor and also To'o. De Cogger goes right to Bradman Best, who's looked sharp in the several opportunities he's had, not a stack of them, as he's scored here 19 out from his own line. Plays it to Cogger, and centre field right to Jacob Safidi, caught 25 out from his own goal line. Penrith about to win its 9th straight game, will enter at least temporarily the top 4. Knights go right to Fletcher Hunt. He's caught on his own 30. That will depend on the Warriors game against Canterbury Bankstown that we're calling tomorrow night at 7:30. Here's Cogger, boot 1, now put to the ground just outside his 30. Bring up the last. Brayley sends it right to Jacob Arthur. End over end kick. Taken by the left winger Jenkins. 25 out from his own line. He heads over the 30 towards the 40 and runs into the chase about 5 metres short of halfway. And you and I separated tomorrow, Louis, unfortunately.
Yes.
As Schneider goes right to Brian To'o. We did a bit of a switcheroo. We're initially calling Sharks and Dragons game. A number of weeks ago, Louis said, mate, do you mind if I do the halftime Legends touch game like last year in Wollongong? Like, absolutely. But we've changed games on him, and Louis, as Louis does, honours that commitment to help out there at Jubilee. So Matt Elliott's going to be in your stead with us tomorrow, Michael Carrianis at Stadium Australia. Cleary goes left to Dylan Edwards. He pokes the pass away to his left now. McLean links up with Garner, 15 out. My only question is, have you got the same boots as last year?
No, I've got new ones.
Because they fell apart on you about a minute in.
No, they'll fall apart into the actual call box.
Cleary kick. The ball has been dropped, and ruling knock on Penrith, knock on Newcastle. Change over to the Knights. 10 metres out. We've got a challenge.
Challenge. The ball was kicked on tackle 5. On-field ruling is knock on Penrith.
9 minutes and 5 seconds to go. Penrith 42, Newcastle 12. And I'd assume with a 30-point lead inside the last 10 minutes on now a slippery, wet ground.
Jess is onside.
You wouldn't challenge unless you were pretty confident.
Yeah, well,
See which player's hand the ball comes off.
I'm going to say that's a Newcastle finger at the top.
Have they got a definitive look about
Trying to
it?
work out which player's hand touches the ball first.
I'm pretty confident in saying is that
Gagai?
Fletcher? No, is that Fletcher?
Oh, in the middle of it.
And I reckon it touches
Comes
his
off the fingers of Fletcher Sharp initially and goes forward into Blaze.
Would have been a fair effort to come off Fletcher Sharp's hand.
It's a double knock on.
Fletcher Hunt.
The challenge is
Sharp.
successful.
Oh, did he?
We're all getting that wrong. So, successful challenge, and Penrith will get the scrum feed 10 metres out. Down to the touchline, Johnny Gibbs.
With all due respect, I did correct mine fairly quickly.
No, I know.
I don't think Ashley Klein still knows that it's a Hunt and not a Sharp.
Blissfully unaware. Someone will be in that bunker saying...
Just by the way,
Yes.
I really, in terms of how things are gone, and we're talking about injuries and things, you don't like that, I'd be putting Nathan Cleary in cotton wool.
I'm with you. They win the scrum and it goes left to Dylan Edwards. Score 5 metres out from the Newcastle line. Penrith up 42 to 12, 9 minutes to play. Schneider goes right to Papali'i. He's put on his back, 3 metres out for the goal line. 3 defenders in there, including Safidi and Croker and Brayley. Now Schneider works the ball right. Through hands to Cleary, an inside ball to Liam Martin. And he, in the tackle, offloads back to Eisenhuth. He's tackled 11 metres out. Dummy half, Brad Schneider. He goes left to Cleary. Short ball, Papali'i on the edge. The defence comes across. Thompson was there, 3 metres out from the goal line, and he rips the ball away after held was called. And so a blatant penalty to Penrith. And he's signalling for 2 points here, Luke.
Imagine they took the 2 now.
Well, it could be the turning point because currently it's, 5 converted tries. Get beyond that. No, they take the tap, and it's Moses Leota. He's wrapped up 5 metres out from the Knights line. 8 minutes to go. Newcastle and Penrith with the Panthers up 42 to 12. To the right, Cleary. So it's inside to Isaac Tungor. And then he getting through tackles Isaac Tungor, Safidi and Gagai, and scores the easiest try of 2025. 7 minutes 50 to go. Try to Tungor. Penrith 46, Newcastle 12. That was way too easy, Louis. And I reckon I've called about 10 tries of the year this year, but that is the softest of the year, isn't it?
That is, yes, definitely not a first-grade standard defence. That is very, very soft. But it's a simple play. It's a cross play, but it's a very good play to do in wet weather. You know, it gets people, you know, they can't, they're moving across, they can't get their feeding right when it make a tackle. And that is just really strong, great footwork there by Tungor. He's beat a couple of really good carries tonight, beat a lot of good players and broke a lot of tackles. But here, just goes straight through Brayley, straight through Saifidi, slams the ball down next to the post. That's too easy.
46-12, and here's Cleary. You wanted them to take the 2. Here's Cleary, 10 out, next to the sticks. And he kicks the goal. He is now 6 from 9. 9 tries for Penrith, who lead 48 to 12. John Gibbs on the touchline.
Well, they got to within 20, didn't they? And then
yes,
the Panthers are put on the afterburners, and really they showed some good signs there for about 5 minutes, and that's it. Penrith are too good. That's one of the reasons I've been taking Brian To'o off too. I mean, he's had all sorts of injuries, and these are the conditions where you can slip and slide and hurt a shoulder, break a leg, do something, get him off.
So here's Gagai's kick. Penrith coach Ivan Cleary so far ignoring the impassioned pleas of John Gibbs. Kick-off from Gagai goes deep, taken by Edwards, 3 out from his own line. He sends it away left to Matt Eisenhuth, who ran through Bradman Best, but taken 20 out from his own line and 20 in from the western touchline by McEwen. I think it's been Newcastle's best tonight. Now it's Liam Martin in centre field. After the game, though, Louis will have the ABC Player of the Year points and gives you all the on-field reaction from Penrith's 9th win in a row. And as they leave Hunter Stadium, they'll be in 4th position. 15 short of halfway, Papali'i goes left. Kenny through hand, or rather Schneider through hand. Edwards, Cleary to Lungy. Again, it throws the ball away. McLean dives on it, and he'll be bundled over the touchline, will he? Yes. Some of the decisions Blaze Talangi makes, still very much a work in progress. Newcastle will play the ball 5 metres or so into Penrith territory. After Casey McLean couldn't do much with that, he slid onto the footy, and his foot slid over the touchline, along with his batok.
Yeah, he's come up a couple of horrible passes over on that left edge. It's like in his mind, every time he catches the ball, he's got to throw that pass. He's got to get it out of his head, because at the moment it's a habit. He's just got to stop doing it. Use his running game, or slow up his run and then pass. But yeah, he's done some really good things out there also.
So now Penrith defending. It's on the right edge, Gagai, trying to fend away from the aforementioned Blaze Talangi. In the end, help comes from Schneider and Garner. 7 metres in Penrith territory, with Penrith scoring 3 tries in 10 minutes after Newcastle had scored 2 in 4. Best gets a pass away to an unmarked Marju. Down the western touchline, across comes the defensive tunnel. How do you stay in the field of play? Great strength by Marju, 11 out, played the best. Goes right to Cogger. He links up to his right to Leo Thompson. And he's going to be put on his back about 7 metres out from the goal line with 5 minutes to play. Dummy half Brayley. He sends it open side right. Cogger. Then on to Arthur. Puts a kick in behind them. Dylan Edwards takes his time. Grounds it in goal. Goal line drop out. There was no Newcastle player anywhere near. But a line drop out. Love the call up the Panthers, says Chris from Adelong. Evening, gentlemen. I'd like to congratulate Adam Dewey on re-signing with my Tiger Pies. Very happy, says Filthy Phil. Yeah, he looks like re-signing anyway. A 2-year deal with the Tigers. Above the ante. Short line drop out by Cleary, and a brilliant effort to take that on the ground by Casey McLean. Diving through puddles, ball skidding everywhere, and Penrith have it back 22 out from their own goal line. Also on the text line, driving back from the snow tonight, Panthers for a 5-peat. Give O'Brien a break, you fools. Have a look at the roster he's got. Look how the greatest coach of all time is going with South from the Bay Tiger. It was a listener, not us. Hey, Maureen team, it's been a while. Just having a couple of Queensland's finest nutritional drinks around the fire, listening to you call under the full moon. Cheers from Hobbsy from Tumbarumba. Good on you, Hobbsy. Here's Penrith. Talangi, another dicey pass. Good hand from McLean. Goes left to Jenkins, and he's caught there by Dom Young. About 2 metres in Knights territory. 5 in from the eastern touchline. It comes to the right to Dylan Edwards. Edwards straightens into the defence there of Thompson. Held is the call. 36 out from the Knights line. Last tackle here for Penrith, leading 48-12 with 3.5 to go. Cleary sends it skyward. Down towards Marju with a catch. 5 out from his own line, and then easily got away from Liam Martin. And now tackled 12 out from his own goal line for the Knights. They trail by 48-12. Now Gagai still probing. Got away from Papali'i and then got the pass away as well. Before being knocked to the deck there was Jacob Arthur. Inside his 20. Fletcher Hunt now smashed to the ground. There's a big hit coming from Matt Eisenhuth. And remember, Penrith known Isaiah Yeo tonight. They very rarely without Isaiah Yeo, but he injured his shoulder against the Gold Coast. Knights stuck 22 out from their own line. Inside the last 3 minutes, Canberra v Manly Ringer is next. It could be a great game at Canberra Stadium. Here's Croker caught on the Knights 30. Manly actually has a great record in Canberra. Here's Arthur's kick from just outside his 30. Floats it and will skid straight past Dylan Edwards. Goes back for it, 9 out from his own line. Bit of open space though. He's up over the 20. Passes the ball right to Brian To'o. Oh, he just burnt past Marju. Gets past McEwen. He's over halfway, Brian To'o. Then runs into more defence, and he's going to be put down 7 metres in Knights territory by Gagai and Thompson. Great run by To'o with 2 and a bit to go. Played to Schneider. Goes left Cleary away to Eisenhuth. He'll be felled 39 out from the Knights goal line. 20 in from touch eastern side. Dummy half Cleary. Short side left away to Blaze Talangi. Talangi accelerates and caught 22 out. We played 18 metres in from touch eastern side. Friday night footy on ABC Sport with Luke Lewis, John Gibbs and Andrew Moore. Here's centre field Penrith, 15 out from the goal line with 2 tackles to go. Schneider. Left to Talangi, just runs straight into defence. Scored again, 5 metres out. Last tackle Panthers. Play Melbourne on Thursday night at Western Sydney Stadium. We'll hear it on local radio. Here's a crossfield click by Cleary for Toto. Oh, he dropped it. Picked up, though, in the end by Isaac Tungor. Referee Raymond on site. Thought it went backwards, although we are going to the bunker. Let's have a listen.
Have no try, just confirmed knock on by Brian.
It looked dead set a knock on down at that southwest side of the field. 1 minute 19 to go, and the score at this stage remains 48-12.
Hit all elements of play leading up to this.
What about the kick from Nathan Cleary?
Brilliant, wasn't it? Yeah. Crossfield. Got there.
Goes over the shoulder.
Brian Toto, just need to see which direction the ball goes.
Well, it's going over his shoulder.
Does end up that way. Remember, his momentum is taking him beyond where he first hit the ball.
Also clearing any mid-air tackle
from Marju.
Brian Toe's in the air.
He's tackled.
The tackle by Greg Marju is a penalty.
So worst case for Penrith will be a
just
penalty.
Confirming which way the ball goes.
I don't understand how you're going to rule on that one going forward.
I think because there's an option of a penalty, it'll stick with the on-field decision. It'll be a penalty to Penrith. That's my guess. What about yours, Jonty?
I think you'd be right. I mean, it's one of those. We saw one.
After touching the ball initially, the ball travels towards the opponent's dead ball line, which is a knock-on. We're supporting the on-field call. However, the actions of Newcastle are a penalty and a penalty only. We have a decision.
That's fair enough, because we saw one earlier that went dead set backwards and they ruled it a knock-on. So it's one of those that initially has been propelled forward but then just goes flying backwards. So they get a penalty to get another opportunity to score anyway.
Take the 2 so the Newcastle Knights can't win the comp.
You just want to see a team get the 50. Now they're going to take the tap. They defy you again before another wonderful crowd here of 20,197. And from the tap, Penrith 2 metres away. Can they get to 50 with 65 seconds to go? Cleary. The crossfield turned it into Papali'i. Runs right into the middle. Caught 6 metres out from the line. Jacob Saifidi was in there with Jaden Brayley. Played to Brad Schneider. Comes to the right to Cleary. Then pings it back to the left to Talangi. He turns it into McLean in centre field. He's caught 9 metres out from the line. 3 plays into the set with 43 seconds to go. Schneider goes right to Cleary. Floats the Sam Walker style pass, and this time it's to the other touchdown. And Michael Wise decided not to pick it up and run and score. That was a horrible pass. So a change over to Newcastle, 10 out from their own line, 30 seconds to go, and I think everyone just needs a hot shower, probably including you, Lou.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to a nice hot shower when I get home. But that was Nathan Cleary is sort of copying Jacob Arthur. It's almost the identical pass, looking for the winger, but the winger just was not there, and it was going straight to the touch judge. But you can do that when you're up by 48 points. So
you're disappointed they didn't kick the goal?
Yeah,
to 50.
Yeah.
So now the Knights on their own 20. Brayley goes left, knocked on by Jack Cogger, and that's it. Penrith wins a 9th straight. This is a team looking for a 5th straight premiership. Last after round 8. Into the top 4 tonight in round 23. A 48-12 thrashing of Newcastle here at Hunter Stadium. Now, I've only got 3 minutes, boys, before we head to the nation's capital, so we might pause on the interviews and record one for Timmy's post-game show, because I doubt we'll get that in the next couple of minutes. Quickly, the try scorers for Penrith, 9 of them. Luke Garner, 4th minute. Lindsay Smith in the 6th. Liam Henry in the 26th. Brian Toho in the 38th. Tom Jenkins in the 40th minute. Then in the second half, Casey McLean in the 44th. Isaiah Papali'i the 63rd. Casey McLean again in the 68th. And Isaac Tungor, he scored in the 73rd minute. And Cleary kicked 6 goals from 9 attempts. 6 restarts, 4 and a successful challenge. For Newcastle, their points tries to Matt Croker in the 53rd minute. Jamie McEwen in the 57th. Jack Cogger 2 from 2. No restarts, no challenges. Penalties finished 6-1 to Penrith, and after leading 26-0, Penrith wins 48-12 before a crowd of 20,197. 20,197. And Luke Lewis, we need your ABC Player of the Year point.
I thought it was a masterclass by their number 7, the Panthers, Nathan Cleary. He gets my 3. And I went Brian To'o for 2 just because of the metres he ate up. He just ate up so many metres, especially in the first half. But in that second half, when it was all wet, he got my 2. And I went Isaiah Papali'i for 1 up the middle of the field. I thought he was really, really good. I thought Lindsay Smith was close as well. I put a couple of little hashtags next to him. He almost got some points, but he didn't get much time in the second half.
3 points Cleary, 2 points Brian To'o, and 1 point Isaiah Papali'i. All right, we're out of here in 60 seconds. Gibbsy, your takeaway from this Penrith's 9th win in a row.
Yeah, 2 good Penrith. I mean, they got a little bit of a fright in the second half, and Nathan Cleary's going to come over and join me, but I'll get him in a sec when we leave this. But Nathan controlled things beautifully. Good start, good finish. They're on a roll, 9 in a row. They're now in the top 4, which is great news for the Panthers, because when they were beaten by Newcastle in round 12, they were stone motherless last, so it's been some sort of comeback.
All right, you've got 35 seconds to hold on there, Gibbsy. 48-12, Penrith leads Newcastle. Penrith leave here inside the top 4. All right, Luke Lewis, great fun, mate. Enjoy your day at Jubilee tomorrow, Cronulla and St George Illawarra, and I'll see you again Sunday, Western Sydney Stadium.
Yeah, thanks, mate. I'm going to miss you boys tomorrow, but have a good day.
We will, mate. Thank you to Gibbsy. Thank you to Dennis Carnahan, Amanda Sound, and to our producer, Ralph Tucker, and to Renell Moa. Back in the studio. Penrith has beaten Newcastle 48 points to 12, and in the end, they scored 9 tries to 2. Let's get to Canberra Stadium. Raiders v Seagulls. Tim Gable, good evening.
Evening, Andrew. Yes, conditions fine here at Canberra Stadium. It is cool. This should be a terrific game, given Manly's form against the Raiders in recent years, where they've won 8 of the past 11 against the Green Machine. Of course, Canberra can go back to the top. Melbourne went there last night. The Raiders can go back to the top of the table, lead by 2 if they can win tonight. Manly, on the other hand, simply need to win tonight to keep their finals hopes alive. A late change too for the Manly team, with Jazz Tavanga starting on the bench. Jake Simpkin will start at hooker, and of course Tom Trbojevic back at fullback, where he plays so well week in, week out against the Raiders, it seems, Alan. And Ruben Garrick as well has absolutely had field days against the Raiders in recent times. Tommy Talau and Totalo Kula in the centres, and obviously a couple of changes there because of injuries, with Tom Trbojevic going from the centres to fullback. And of course, in the pack, Michael Cheekham returns his first grade game for NRL for the Manly Seagulls this year, because he has been playing 16 games in the New South Wales Cup. Hasn't played first grade for Manly for a number of years, but obviously great to see him back in the side. He was a Raiders junior and came through the ranks here before heading to Sydney. Alongside me is Alan Tung. We'll cross down to Sam Williams on the sideline as well very shortly. Sam and Alan, just your thoughts, Alan?
Yeah, it's a super important game for the Raiders to bounce back. Yes, the second half last week probably didn't go to plan. A couple of key errors missing, going to touch there. It was, some errors that you just haven't seen in the Raiders game, but the Manly Seagulls come here with absolutely nothing to lose. It's Indigenous round. You can hear the didge in the background there, but I'll go down to Sammy Williams on the sideline. And what about your thoughts tonight here, Sam? Chilly conditions down there.
It is, Tungy. It's good to be along. To be honest, it's not as cold as I was expecting. There is a little bit of moisture on top of the surface, so it will be a little bit greasy, but for a really nice night in the middle of winter, I'm happy with things down here. For the Raiders, I think the big one is their right edge. They've got to be good defensively. I think Trbojevic and Garrick, we've mentioned. The other one is Cooler. I think that is an exceptional centre, is Cooler. They've had success down there in the past. There's no doubt they're going there again. For Manly, they need to stop this Raiders pack. They're big, they're mobile, and they've been brilliant all year.
All right, we've got the Indigenous round well underway here at Canberra Stadium, and just watching Sebastian Chris lead the Raiders onto the field. His uncle Eric is there